world's first and only automated CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. It kills 99.9% of all CPAP germs, and it's completely hands-free. For a limited time, you can try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. Just call 1-800-700-1331.
SoClean changed the CPAP experience for the better. My health has improved. It's simple to use, and I'm not worried about infections.
SoClean destroys CPAP bacteria, viruses, and germs, and it eliminates the daily hassle of washing your system by hand. There's no water, chemicals, or disassembly. Just pop in your mask, close the lid, and presto! Your CPAP system is clean and fresh in minutes. Call SoClean.com to try it risk-free at home for 30 days. This is a limited time offer, only available by calling 1-800-700-1331. That's 1-800-700-1331.
If you've got questions, we've got answers. 660 AM. The Answer. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is the Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
Sorry, that took me a little bit longer than usual. I was just putting this up on YouTube Live Events. We are live on the air on television. Join us. Telephone number 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. Listen to this. According to Al-Qaeda, in the latest edition of its online magazine, Inspire, it talks about the Inspire Guide, the Orlando operation, and shows a picture of Omar Mateen. He killed 49 people, injured 53 inside a gay nightclub. Mateen was later killed by police. He told hostage negotiators he pledged allegiance to ISIS. U.S. Attorney General Loretta Lynch has characterized the attack as a hate crime against gays and not a terror attack, which, by the way, listen closely, rankles Al-Qaeda of the Arabian Peninsula, AQAP. In an article reported by their foreign desk, AQAP called for more self-directed Muslim terrorists to kill in America. But they go on to tell terrorists to avoid targeting places and crowds where minorities are generally found, because if gays or Latinos appear to be targets, the federal government will be the one taking full responsibility, because they'll call it a hate crime against gays instead of a terror attack against Americans. And if you don't think that that's one of the most cynical, nasty things to say about the United States, I don't know what you're thinking. All these people talking about the president, talking about how we got to stop being so divisive. We got to quit trying to divide America. There's another great example of somebody in his own administration doing just that. U.S. Attorney General Loretta Lynch characterizing the attack as a hate crime against gays instead of a terror attack against Americans. Although Al-Qaeda does not take credit for Mateen's attack in the online article, ISIS does, by the way. It urges more lone wolves to take up arms. Jihadists should target areas where the Anglo-Saxon community is generally concentrated. This class of the American community is the majority. It's the one that is in American leadership. Al-Qaeda is very carefully threading the needle by endorsing the attacks while criticizing Mateen's target selection, said Ryan Morrow, national security analyst for the Clarion Project. It's a Washington-based nonprofit that tracks international terror. This is Al-Qaeda's way of asserting itself above ISIS in the wake of its competitors' success. Paying attention at all yet? Hello? Marketing. This was a disheartening day from a standpoint of those of us who have been very carefully following the hard work of Trey Gowdy and the Select Committee on Benghazi. The final Benghazi report is out. The final report is out. And the administration, the Clinton campaign dismissed the report immediately as nothing more than a partisan conspiracy theory. This after the committee was stonewalled, ignored, right down to ignoring subpoenas in trying to do their work. After more than 2 years, Republicans delivered a final Benghazi committee report that ripped the Obama administration's handling of the 2012 terror attack. Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign dismissed the findings as discredited and nothing more than conspiracy theories. The 800-page report was released on Tuesday, marks the culmination of an investigation that haunted the 2016 Democrat frontrunner in the campaign trail, even as Clinton's campaign has consistently slammed the probe as a political vendetta. But for all the partisan battling over the probe, the final report from the panel, in keeping with Chairman Trey Gowdy's prior statements, offered new details of the attack and the nation's response, but did not focus on Clinton in particular. So they were successful. Instead, the report drilled down on new details about how Clinton's State Department failed to protect the diplomatic outpost in Libya. The report also said the CIA missed the looming threat despite warnings and wrote faulty intelligence reports after the attack. The GOP staff said their findings indicate the Defense Department did not meet its response times to deploy military assets to Benghazi and follow up to ensure Americans were rescued in a timely fashion. The report includes new specifics about a U.S. teleconference convened by White House Chief of Staff Dennis McDonough during the attack. According to the report, some participants of the video conference were unsure about what each agency was doing to rescue Americans. State Department officials on the call also brought up concerns about whether Marines who might have been deployed to Benghazi were wearing uniforms, the report found. Something officials had previously said could hurt diplomacy in the region. One commander told the committee he and his men over the course of 3 hours changed back and forth from uniform to civilian clothes 4 times. The teleconference was chaired by Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. There were 10 action items. The first 5 were how to deal with the political overtones of U.S. involvement in rescuing the Americans. Now, you have heard me say on this broadcast countless times that these people think politics first. Here's a case of thinking politics first. They spent the first 2.5 hours while the attack is going on, while the whereabouts of Ambassador Chris Stevens are completely unknown. While Glenn Doherty and Tyrone Woods were trying to fight to get to the ambassador and get to all those guys. They were trying to figure out what the diplomatic overtones would be. If there was going to be any blowback among the politicians in Libya while Americans were dying, one by one. Congressman Gowdy says it best himself. Let's listen to what he had to say today as he explained to the press just exactly what the Benghazi report said.
After more than 100 witness interviews, including more than 80 with witnesses no other Congress talked to, and thousands of that there are men and women who love this country enough and what it stands for and how it can inspire others to serve in dangerous places under dangerous circumstances. So I will respectfully ask my citizens to simply do this. Read the report. Read the report, and if you do read the report, I think what will become manifest to you is what has become manifest to us, which are 2 different images. The image on the one hand of what was happening in Benghazi, during the relevant time period, and the image, on the other hand, of the decisions made and not made in Washington during that same time period.
He went on to talk a little bit about what was happening in Washington and Benghazi and drew contrasts between the actions in those two places.
Perhaps nothing shows the contrast between what was happening in Benghazi and what was happening in Washington than that 2-hour civics White House meeting and the summaries and the readouts that came from it. So it is true, nothing could have reached Glenn Doherty and Ty Woods before they were killed, because nothing was ever going toward Glenn Doherty and Ty Woods. And it is worth noting that that statement would be true had the mortar attacks taken place at 7:15 a.m. or 9:15 a.m. or even at lunchtime on the 12th, because at the time those two Americans were killed, not a single wheel of a single U.S. military asset had even turned toward Libya.
By the way, Defense Secretary Leon Panetta had ordered the Defense Department to rescue those people. It had happened earlier that morning. Rescue those people immediately. Nothing. Why? Why was there nothing? Now remember, you got to keep something in mind here. You got to keep something in mind. And that's this. You have to keep in mind just exactly where the timing was when it came to where President Obama and Hillary Clinton, the Secretary of State, where they were in the re-election process of the president. Congressman Jim Jordan got together with another of his colleagues and spent some time coming up with their viewpoint based on what they heard from the campaign, or excuse me, I'm sorry, the committee, while they were watching. More about that in a second, but listen to what Congressman Jim Jordan said about the Benghazi report regarding what the timing was for President Obama.
And I think it's important to remember this. Don't forget the context. Libya was supposed to be the crowning jewel of the Clinton State Department foreign policy and the Obama administration foreign policy. This was their example of how it works. No boots on the ground, oust the dictator, help the Arab Spring. This was supposed to be how it works. In fact, Jake Sullivan sent an email to one of the things we discovered in our investigation, where he talks about leadership, stewardship, ownership of this policy from start to finish. This was something Hillary Clinton pushed for and got done. But maybe the better one is the email from Sidney Blumenthal. A few days after Gaddafi has been removed, he sends an email to the secretary, and he says, this is a big moment. You should do a press event, even if it's in the driveway of your vacation home. And he finishes the email with this statement. This is a big moment. You are vindicated. Don't wait. Help Cleo now. Cleo, of course, is the goddess of history. So they were committed to this. They were invested in this. This was it. This was how it's supposed to work in their administration and their State Department. And they were so committed, it didn't matter that there were 200 security incidents between the time Blumenthal sent the email and when the terrorist attack happens. It didn't matter that one diplomatic security agent went to Benghazi, did his service, and came back. And when he came back, he said this: it's a suicide mission. Quote, everybody there is going to die. It didn't matter that on August 17th of 2012, 3.5 weeks before the attack, Beth Jones sends a memo to Secretary Clinton, and she uses terms. She talks about the uptick in violence in eastern Libya and talks about urgency, lawlessness, widespread violence. They didn't matter because they were committed to this policy. And then it happens. A terrorist attack, and it's a terrorist attack on September 11th, 2012. Days before, Vice President Biden had said, GM's alive, bin Laden's dead. The president had this narrative that Al-Qaeda's on the run, but now they got a terrorist attack. And they have to mislead the American people because it's 56 days before an election. Their legacy's on the line. and she has the goddess of history looking over her shoulder. So they mislead the American people.
Jim Jordan, Mike Pompeo had their own take on all of this. And we'll continue to cover the story when we continue next on the Wells Report. This is 660 AM The Answer.
Hey, it's Mark Davis for my friends at Good Feet. One of the reasons it's such a joy to hang out with these folks is they have such great stories of helping people who have tried other things that did not work. And getting out of foot pain is a thing of joy to behold. Ask them at Plano, Fort Worth, and Southlake, the 3 locations of Good Feet, or go to goodfeetdfw.com. Listen, as one of the good folks at Good Feet talks about what it's like to help people, to watch them come in for a solution that actually works.
For most of the people that walk in our store, it's been an ongoing, nonstop issue. They're searching, they're grasping at straws because they've been trying other products and they've bought something that they thought was going to help solve their problem, and it didn't.
The good people of Good Feet with solutions that are real, not the plasticky gel, one size fits most nonsense. Nope, but the sizes, the styles for men, for women. Get out of pain today. That foot pain can become back pain, hip pain, leg pain. GoodFeetDFW.com, Plano, Fort Worth, or Southlake. GoodFeetDFW.com. Check them out today.
Hi, I'm Carl Deichler, the CEO of Beachbody, and I'm here to tell you about an amazing new way you can start losing weight for free right now. You've probably seen our workout DVDs on TV like P90X, Insanity, and 21 Day Fix. We just launched a beta trial of our new digital video platform, Beachbody On Demand. So while we're testing out this new digital video service, I'm inviting you to use it for free for 30 days. That means you can lose 10 pounds, 20 pounds, even 30 pounds without paying a dime. Text the word trial to 303030 and you can do 30 days of P90X, Insanity, or any of over 400 workouts for free. And here's the catch. In return, all I ask is you let us know what you think of the service so we can make Beachbody On Demand the best fitness and weight loss site ever created. Just text trial to 303030 and get started for free right now. Again, text trial to 303030.
Message and data rates may apply. Membership fees apply after 30-day free trial. Cancel anytime.
Hey, it's Mark Davis. I'll bet you've heard a lot about the money you can save leasing a car versus buying. Well, now there's a way to save even more. Brass Hat Leasing. In car lingo, a brass hat vehicle is a program car, a factory demo, extremely low miles, very near showroom condition. But since it can't be titled as new, you save a bunch. Go to brasshatleasing.com. Shop through the inventory, see and drive the car you want at their location near DFW Airport, or just order and take delivery. Brass Hat Leasing, with a wide selection of makes and models, featuring leases and even sales, if you like, of these next new vehicles, giving you a huge savings opportunity. In fact, here's the Brass Hat Leasing deal of the day.
$322 per month for a 2016 Dodge Charger SE sedan with $999 down plus TTNL, 12,000 miles per year for a 36-month lease. If you need more miles per year, they can build them right into your payment in most cases.
So close to new, yet so much more affordable. BrassHatLeasing.com, 855-998-2202, 855-998-2202, or BrassHatLeasing.com.
Be honest. Will owning a bigger TV help you get ahead in life? Will another pair of shoes make you a better person? Probably not. But what if you could speak another language? If acquiring a new language excites you more than acquiring more stuff, then wait until you hear this. As part of its biggest language learning event in history, Rosetta Stone is giving away demos of its powerful language learning software absolutely free. For your free demo, call 1-800-600-8119. And Rosetta Stone has made language learning more convenient than ever. Learn on your computer or iPad, then practice on the go with your smartphone or MP3 player without ever opening a book or memorizing boring vocabulary again. Do you want more stuff, or do you want a language that will last a lifetime? After all, it's all about priorities. To try a free demo of this powerful language learning software, call 1-800-600-8119. Again, get your free demo now. 1-800-600-8119. That's 1-800-600-8119.
It's time to honor our veterans with the Starkey Mortgage Veteran of the Month. If you know a veteran who deserves this honor, then go to 660amtheanswer.com and nominate them to be the Starkey Mortgage Veteran of the Month. Winners will receive a gift card from Crossroads Diner, a $100 gift card from the Crazy Gun Dealer, and an award from Starkey Mortgage. Plus, come up to the studios to meet Mark Davis and John David Wells. Go to 660amtheanswer.com to nominate your veteran. That's the Starkey Mortgage Veteran of the Month. Starkey Mortgage is an equal housing lender, NMLS number 2146. This is not a commitment to lend. Specific underwriting guidelines must be met.
Be a part of history. Come spend an evening with the artist that has inspired, encouraged, and shaped your faith for over 30 years.
Sandy Patty's Forever Grateful, the Farewell Tour, 7 p.m. Sunday night, October 30th. Gateway Church. Tickets available now for your last chance to see Sandy Patty on tour at premierproductions.com. Don't wait, this concert is selling fast. Produced by Fill the Gap Concerts.
660 AM, The Answer. 660 AM, TheAnswer.com. The Wells Report is on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. Trey Gowdy responded to the press about the Benghazi reports. Here's what he said about this, what will be an infamous White House meeting.
One of the takeouts from that to our White House meeting, in addition to the 5 action items on the video, consider this. The video had been out for a while. It wasn't new. Cairo had happened, right? Cairo happened before Benghazi. So if you are concerned about this video, you have done absolutely nothing after you receive notice that the video is going to be disseminated. You have done absolutely nothing after Cairo happened. Okay, you're with me? Cairo has happened, and you have changed not one iota your military posture. But yet, when the attack in Benghazi happens, which is unconnected with the video, 50% of your action items coming out of a civets relate to the video.
That video was referred to on several occasions after the attack. Susan Rice infamously went to 5 of the most important news talk shows on the major networks and explained that it was indeed this video. There is a real problem with that story again, because as the attack first occurred, intercepted radio traffic from AQAP. It wasn't AQAP, it was Ansari. It was the other one. The people who were attacking identified themselves as a terror group, making it a terror attack. Famously, Hillary Clinton tells Chelsea, and she tells the foreign minister of Egypt that it's a terror attack, and then goes about the strange and bizarre notion that some video created the entire mess for the consumption of the American people. Unbelievable. Steve and Alan, welcome to the Wells Report. Hello.
Yes, hello. I just wanted to start off with. Do you know who was at that White House meeting?
I know that Hillary. It's been reported that Hillary was there as Secretary of State. She was the ranking member of the administration.
Okay, but the point I was going to make is there are actually professionals. If they were sitting around trying to figure out which department is doing what to rescue Americans, there are actually professionals who train for that, who were told to stand down because Obama wanted to keep it entirely within his political circle. For instance, the State Department has, it's called a Foreign Emergency Support Team, a FEST. The head of the FEST showed up and asked if they needed their help. And they said, no, we don't need your help. They sent the professionals away who could have coordinated that if they were interested in coordinating that. Clearly, like you're saying, it was politics first. They had no interest in rescuing those Americans. For instance, when I was mobilized after 9/11, I provided intel support to force protection. That was my mission.
Steve, hang on just a quick second. We're going to keep you through the bottom of the hour. We'll have you back on the other side to explain more of your story. Steve is joining us, force protection professional. We're going to find out exactly what he has to say as we continue with the story of Benghazi next on the Wells Report.
Okay, we're here at CreditRepair.com, the most recognized name in the industry for resolving credit report issues and getting those scores up. With me, I got Aaron. Aaron, there's a lot going on here today.
That's right, Justin. Last year alone, we had over 500,000 calls from people needing help with improving their credit reports.
And no wonder. What you're doing works, right?
It sure does. Our proven process actually can help remove those unfair or inaccurate items from your credit report. And on average, people who have used our service have seen significant improvement in their credit scores month after month.
So when it comes to getting things in life that you really want, like a home, car, or even a new job, the first thing lenders usually look at is credit. So don't let a low credit score hold you back. Call creditrepair.com today. And so what happens when they call?
Well, when you call, we're actually going to give you a free credit report, a free credit score, and a free evaluation to tell you what's going on right over the phone.
Call creditrepair.com at 800-231-1735. That's 800-231-1735. 800-231-1735.
You have new wood floors and they look gorgeous. That's the good news. The not so good news, they'll eventually have to be cleaned. More good news, there are plenty of wood floor care products to choose from. Bad news, most products will leave a micro layer of residue each time you clean. The really bad news, eventually your wood floor will get dull and hazy almost regardless of which product you clean it with. Now the great news, Dowworth Clean can remove that unsightly buildup from your wood floor, revealing the original finish once again. At Dowworth, we're more than just carpet cleaners. We clean, restore, polish, and protect every type of flooring in your home, including wood, stone, tile, and even concrete. Call 267-8433 today and ask about a complete flooring makeover for your home. Find out why for over 39 years we've been saying,
because the next best thing to do is Dowworth Clean.
Hi, folks. I'm Frank Manzarek, owner of Statewide Remodeling. You know, since our inception in 1994, we've evolved into the largest bathroom remodeling company in Texas, with offices in Dallas, Houston, Ohio. You know, what we found is that most bathroom remodeling companies are still using old technology in the bathroom remodeling business. I'm not saying they necessarily do bad work. They just are not keeping up with all the new trends and product availability, as well as what's new that goes into the wet area of the bathroom to prevent leaks and low maintenance products that reduce mold and mildew. If you're going to spend your money to remodel a bathroom, you owe it to yourself to at least get an estimate from Statewide Remodeling. We do not charge for a design consultation. We'll come to your home and show you all the options, help with your design, and give you a down-to-the-penny price that's good for 30 days. After that, it's up to you. You can also come by one of our DFW area showrooms or visit us online anytime at statewideremodeling.com. If you call now, we're offering 20% off your complete bath remodel. The number to call is 888-270-7095. That's 888-270-7095.
I used to love wearing dresses and shorts. Then I started getting spider veins, and even worse, those embarrassing, bulging, varicose veins. For a while, I covered up my legs, but then I discovered Vein Clinics of America.
Vein Clinics of America is the oldest, largest, most experienced vein treatment center in the U.S. And for 35 years, they've been the leading expert in the treatment of vein disease. Using state-of-the-art laser and minimally invasive treatments, they can begin restoring the natural beauty of your legs in as little as an hour with no downtime, and most treatments are covered by your insurance.
My legs look great and feel great. I even love wearing summer dresses and shorts again.
Make sure your legs look and feel their best for summer. Call now and schedule a free fast-track consultation to find out how you can finally get rid of those embarrassing varicose and spider veins. Space is limited, so call 800-375-4806. That's 800-375-4806. 800-375-4806.
Acme Home Insurance.
Yes, I'd like to make a claim.
What are you wanting to claim, sir?
My air conditioner broke down.
Sorry, but your home insurance doesn't cover air conditioner breakdowns.
So what do you cover?
Home damage from things like earthquakes, volcanoes, a zombie apocalypse.
A zombie apocalypse? But that'll never happen.
But if it did, you'd be covered, sir.
But not my air conditioner?
I'm afraid not.
But his air conditioner could have been covered with a home warranty from American Home Shield, plus components of 20 other major home systems and appliances, like his electrical system, plumbing, refrigerator, and more. For valuable free information, call 1-800-700-1134. Home insurance can cover what might happen.
Zombies are coming!
But a home warranty helps cover what will happen.
Now the dryer won't work.
Life happens. Have a plan. Get a home warranty from American Home Shield. For valuable free information, call 1-800-700-1134. That's 1-800-700-1134. 1-800-700-1134.
You can listen on the go. Find us on iHeartRadio. 660 AM. The Answer. If it's important to you, we're talking about it right now on the Wells Report on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells, going through the Benghazi report tonight. The one put out by the Republicans, not the propaganda piece designed to dilute what happened with the Republican report that came out today. 800 pages, required reading for all Americans. Joining us is Steve and Alan. Steve, you got my attention when you said you were a force protection professional.
Well, I provided intelligence support to force protection.
That is one of my greatest. Those are two of my greatest passions: intelligence
Right.
and force protection. Those are very serious for me.
What I'm saying is, when you can find a lot of this stuff on the internet. We call it open source because that's where these people operate. You know, the terrorist groups. One thing you've got to understand is these, or if there is a protest or a riot like there was in Cairo, they're never spontaneous. They're always organized. It's kind of like advertising for a concert. Okay, the groups are active on social media. They're active on Facebook. And the people before the Cairo riot were actually putting out press releases. There were three groups I can remember: Islamic Jihad, the Sunni group, Jama'a Islamiyah. They were threatening to burn down the Cairo embassy on 9/11, but they mentioned nothing about a video. It was all about Sheikh Abdul Rahman, the blind sheikh, the Gitmo detainees, and any other jihadi we were holding. They said that they were going to burn down the embassy. If anybody survived, they were going to take them captive and keep them hostage until the Americans released them. If you Google CNN's Nick Robertson interviews son of blind sheikh, Cairo embassy, you'll see a video of CNN's Nick Robertson talking to the brother and son of the blind sheikh in front of the Cairo embassy the day before they attacked it. There are banners of the Sheikh Abdul Rahman up in front of the embassy. Okay, and interesting enough, Mohammed al-Zawahiri, the brother of Al Qaeda's Ayman al-Zawahiri, is there talking to Nick Robertson. And again, no mention of a video. It's all about that. Now, what I'm saying is, and also, the White House issued a press release. There was a readout of a meeting. Basically, that was on September 10th, the day before the anniversary of 9/11, saying that they were ready to protect life. They were positioned to protect life and limb, U.S. life and property, both at home and abroad. They had actionable intelligence. They knew who, what, and who was going to do it, when they were going to do it, what they were going to do. They could see the banners in front of the embassy. So they had actionable intelligence. They should have been prepared for a Cairo contingency. And if they had been prepared for a Cairo contingency, it would have been easy to react to a Libyan contingency because Libya is about as close to a NATO base you can get without being in a NATO country. So they put out this press release saying they were ready for everything, and then something happened and they couldn't respond. This is extremely suspicious, don't you think?
Absolutely. It's dereliction of duty at some level. Somebody stopped them.
The president did.
Panetta told people to roll from the Defense Department. He was overruled by somebody.
Only the president has cross-border authority. Panetta can tell him to get ready. Only the president has cross-border authority. Only he can tell units, troops to move from one country to another. That's the commander-in-chief. Nobody else can do it.
You notice that he is suspiciously absent from all of this.
Yes.
Did not take part in any of the meetings.
No.
56 days before the election, he's not having anything to do with this.
Yeah. Let me just respond. Earlier you were talking about it. It appears like this guy wants to lose. Clearly he does, because he purged everybody who can make a connection between Islam and terrorism. And this is important because you mentioned Al Qaeda's magazine, Inspire.
Yes.
You can actually read that. They speak in sort of a gang code, but unless you know the Sunnah, the Hadith, the Quran, unless you know Islamic history, you won't pick up on the allusions, the references. Like, for instance, ISIS has one now too. It's called Dabiq. Unless you know Islamic theology, you will not know the significance of that name. But because he has essentially turned over intel training, national security training, law enforcement training to the Muslim Brotherhood, he's blinded us. They've erased all references to this. But I guess I'm kind of drifting far away from this, from what we're talking about.
All we're trying to do at this particular moment is get the story. There are going to be fragments of information that are out there that may or may not necessarily, correlate with exactly what we're talking about. But strangely enough, those pieces have a habit of re-impacting, rendezvousing, if you will, with the central story at some point.
One thing I do want to point out about Hillary Clinton, she went. Okay, what I'm saying is the video story was a lie. It was a lie about Cairo too, because again, these people who were organizing this massive riot, and that was an assault too on the Cairo embassy. It didn't get as far, but it was still an assault. They never mentioned that video. They were talking about detainees, prisoners. They wanted a prisoner release. It's always the case that you have to organize these things. There are people I know in the government who look at the press and they do press translations to look exactly for these kinds of threats. It started stinking to me the night it was happening, and I went online and I found a bunch of stuff.
Right.
I knew within days, actually, they were lying about the whole thing.
Steve, thanks very much for your input. Thanks very much for your experience. And most of all, thanks very much for your service to America. We sincerely appreciate you giving us that information. Here on the Wells Report on 660 AM, The Answer. Let me get to Robert in Dallas. Robert, welcome.
John David, thank you. I just have some simple questions. They're not very complicated. The president left these guys there to die. Hillary Clinton left those guys there to die. I have yet to hear where the president was, where Hillary Clinton was, who was talking to who, and why they sent them no help. I'm not interested in getting into the weeds. I'm interested in knowing basic answers to basic questions that I have yet to hear somebody ask them. Maybe they've asked them and they've said it, I haven't heard it. When are we going to get some simple questions answered from this committee?
Well, the committee has finished its work. It has put out its report. It is now disbanded. The thing that you need to keep in mind, Robert, and I want to get this across to you here, is you got some of those answers today. At that meeting in the White House, the number one person was Hillary. She was the chair of that meeting. There were 10 action items. The first 5 dealt with the politics of the event. This is while the attack is still going on and Americans are losing their lives. They're talking about politics, the political ramifications, the diplomatic ramifications of going in there to try to save these men. They slow walk that conversation. There's no need to go in and save the men because eventually they're all going to die. Remember, the report said that it was a suicide mission. They just waited until those guys were dead. So you got that one. We also got another name today. At the outset of the attack, and I think I misspoke. I think I said that I got my 7s mixed up. It was 7 in the evening when Leon Panetta, then Secretary of Defense, ordered military assets to put themselves in a position to go and do something about it. From that order to no action to the deaths of the ambassador, that's where the decision tree stops. That is why the main emphasis of this report says this: final Benghazi report details administration failures. It was an administration leadership failure to provide help and, yes, force protection for those men who died that night in Benghazi. We have to find somebody who can countermand an order from the Secretary of State. Who could that possibly be? Now, remember, he doesn't have to be elected again. But Hillary was there too. And while she was dithering, worrying about the internal politics of Libya, Americans were dying. And that's the point for me. Trey Gowdy talked about this when he was talking about what could and could not reach Benghazi.
It has been said that nothing could have reached Benghazi before the lethal mortar attacks. And I suppose what is meant by that is nothing other than the 2 unarmed drones and the team from Tripoli that deployed itself. What is missing in that analysis, but is pretty simple and straightforward to those of us who have been investigating it for the last 2 years, is nothing could have reached Benghazi because nothing was ever headed to Benghazi. No U.S. military asset was ever deployed to Benghazi despite the order of the Secretary of Defense at 7 o'clock that night.
Yeah. Yeah, the committee came up with a report. They got them. The question is, what's going to happen with it? In today's USA Today, Paul Singer writes this: 56 days. Representative Mike Pompeo, the Republican from Canada, intoned at a press conference to unveil the House Benghazi committee report. There's no way to understand the government's immediate response to September 12, 2012 attack without understanding this took place 56 days before a contested political election for president. The same can be said of the report that Pompeo and other Republicans were releasing today. It can only be understood in the context of being released 132 days before the 2016 presidential election. Everything about the Select Committee has been political. Former House Speaker John Boehner resisted creating a committee until May of 2014, when a conservative watchdog group uncovered a White House memo suggesting officials should stick to the story that the attack grew out of an organic protest, not a pre-planned terror attack. Boehner said the fact that the administration had not provided that memo to congressional investigators proved that a new committee was needed. Yeah. Proved that John Boehner was in serious need of a pair of turnips, which apparently he just plain didn't have. There are two other people involved in this report that put together a report of their own. Mike Pompeo and Jim Jordan of Ohio. They had strong words to say about this. You heard one of them already. But listen to what Jim Jordan had to say regarding political spin.
Before the attack ended, no military assets were headed towards Benghazi. But what did start before the attack was over was the political spin. At 10:08 that night, with Tyrone Woods still on the roof of the annex fighting for his life, Secretary Clinton issues this statement: the official statement on Benghazi, the official statement of our government that evening. Some have sought to justify this vicious behavior as a response to inflammatory material on the internet. We know that statement was misleading because an hour later she told her daughter, terrorists killed 2 of our people today. The next day she tells the Egyptian Prime Minister, we know the film had nothing to do with it. It was a planned attack, not a protest. And this public-private contrast continues 4 days. Publicly telling the American people it was a video-inspired protest, privately telling the truth that it was a terrorist attack. And maybe the best example is from the 14th. Same day Mr. Rhodes issues his talking points. But that day we have Mr. Carney at a press briefing saying this: no information to suggest Benghazi was a pre-planned attack. No information to suggest a pre-planned attack. That same day, State Department official in Libya says this: Benghazi was a well-planned attack. You couldn't have a starker contrast than those two statements.
The name of the terror group was Ansar al-Sharia. It was a duly delegated terror group. At the outset of the attack, Ansar al-Sharia radio communications were intercepted, calling it a terror attack and coordinating command and control efforts through that radio link. There are a lot of people saying a lot of things. One of them is Judicial Watch. I'll tell you what they had to say. But the Benghazi report pins it all on the Obama administration, the death of 4 Americans, chief among them. And it's just plain hard to take. You're listening to the Wells Report. Some companies just don't want your conservative dollars. Well, actually, they want your dollars, but what they want to do is turn your conservative dollars into liberal ones. Hi, I'm John David Wells from the Wells Report. You don't get to do this very often, but this time you get to choose where your money goes. Does it matter to you that companies like Target use your money to promote the left? It bothers me. I've asked Susan not to shop at Target. But Target's not the only company that uses your money against you. Big mobile cell phone companies do the very same thing. Remember former Congressman Allen West? He's former Congressman Allen West because of one of these very same big mobile cell phone companies. We don't have to patronize companies that use our money to undermine our beliefs. That's why it's time for you to move to Patriot Mobile. 5% of every dollar that you spend on your phone bill is immediately donated to causes you and I believe in. Right now, get a Samsung Galaxy S5 or iPhone 5S with unlimited talk, text, and data for only $50 a month. Call Patriot Mobile today, 1-800-A-PATRIOT, 1-800-A-PATRIOT, or check out patriotmobile.com. Tell them you heard about it on the Wells Report.
More of the Wells Report is coming up next on 660 AM. The Answer.
Hey, it's Mark Davis for my friends at Abacus Foundation Repair. You and I both know that the warmer, wetter seasons in Texas can give us real foundation problems. Wet spells, dry spells. Let me put you in touch with Abacus Foundation Repair if you even think you've got any kind of foundation problem. This is what I did. I called them. You'll be glad you did too. At 972-406-9000. Call the right people first. Abacus Foundation Repair, 972-406-9000. Why are they the right people to call if you got cracks in the walls or sheetrock or doors that are sticking or any kind of suspicion? Because they're going to map your house with the skill of an engineer. Look for possible causes like a plumbing issue so the problem doesn't come back. When they're done, you get a lifetime warranty. You can transfer free and clear to any new owner. It adds to your home's value. North Texas homeowners trust Abacus Foundation Repair, so give them a call. 972-406-9000. Abacus, A-B-A-C-U-S, abacusfoundationrepair.com. You'll be glad you called, so call 972-406-9000 or abacusfoundationrepair.com.
Look, honey, this ad says we can get a new air conditioning unit for only $1,500.
That's incredible. Let's get it now.
There you go. Enjoy.
Wait, what?
You didn't think we'd install it for that price, did you?
There you go, folks. In this business, if it sounds too good to be true, well, then it probably is. I'm Jeff Stewart with Reliant Air Conditioning, and if you're tired of crazy gimmicks, give us a call. Our techs don't work on commission, and we don't do high-pressure sales. Right now, with Carrier's Cool Cash, you can save over $3,500 on a new Infinity system. Plus, you might also qualify for an additional $1,000 off from your utility provider. So call the other guys first, and then call Reliant Air Conditioning, and you'll see how we've been gimmick-free since '83. Our number's 877-YOUR-HERO. That's 877-968-7437 or ReliantAirConditioning.com.
Reliant Air Conditioning. Call 877-YOUR-HERO.
Based on actual cases, results may vary, not a solicitation for legal services. Have you received a letter or personal visit from the IRS? Has the IRS garnished your paycheck or seized your bank account? If so, you need to take action now. You're a target of the most powerful collection agency in the world, and you need representation you can trust. Don't get scammed by imitators and telemarketers' high-pressure tactics. At Wall & Associates, they develop trust with their clients through a free face-to-face consultation. They've saved their clients over $129 million in the past 5 years. Call 1-800-983-5313 now for your free face-to-face consultation. Ignoring your tax problem will only make it worse. Call 1-800-983-5313 to get immediate help. With over 30 years of experience, Wall & Associates has helped thousands of taxpayers, and they can help you. Call now, 1-800-983-5313, 800-983-5313, wallandassociates.net.
Think you're fat? You might just be bloated. Find out by calling now for a free trial of New Biotics, the new breakthrough that flattens bloated bellies fast. For a free trial, call 1-800-550-1388. Strict limit of 1 per household.
I used to be plagued by potbelly and constant bloating. After taking New Biotics, my belly flattened and continues to get flatter. My sense of bloating and discomfort is gone.
If you've got a big belly, you might not be fat. You might just be bloated. New Biotics is scientifically formulated with natural ingredients to flatten bloated bellies fast by cleansing pounds of rotting food and toxic sludge from your body. It even combats periodic heartburn and acid reflux. If your belly flattening results are too dramatic, simply reduce use to every other day. Think you might be bloated? See how much flatter New Biotics makes your belly. But hurry, call now for details while we're still giving it away for free. 1-800-550-1388. That's 1-800-550-1388. 1-800-550-1388.
Dallas, Fort Worth's home for stimulating talk. 660 AM, The Answer. Now, by popular demand, The Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to The Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Judicial Watch President Tom Fitton made the following statement. The Select Committee report further confirms what Judicial Watch already uncovered through its independent investigations. Our investigation continues as the Clinton email obstruction of our Benghazi FOIA lawsuit is the subject of court-ordered discovery. This report proves beyond all doubt that after 4 Americans died in Benghazi, the Obama administration lied. While we appreciate the Select Committee's efforts, Judicial Watch's Benghazi effort has been one of the most significant non-governmental investigations in modern American history. Pompeo and Jordan said, quote, "We're now convinced, contrary to the administration's public claim that the military did not have time to get to Benghazi, that the administration never launched men or machines to help directly in the fight. This is very different than what we have been told to date. And the S is compelling." And so there you go. Somebody said it best on the telephone. Hillary Clinton, for her part, says, nothing happened here, nothing changed, now let's move along and let's get this passed. Don't let her get away with the murder of 4 Americans for the sake of politics and nothing more. Don't vote for Hillary Clinton. Hashtag never Hillary. This is the Wells Report.
Honey, I'm really worried about our retirement funds.
Oh, me too. We lost so much value in the recession in the stock market. I'm worried we won't have enough to retire.
Jim next door told me that he had set up a new kind of IRA with the Gold Silver Group. He said how simple and safe it was. It's a private storage IRA, and we could have real gold and silver in our hands.
Really? You mean we can actually see it and touch it?
Absolutely. Jim said we could have all the benefits of an IRA to help build our retirement income. Bottom line, we would own a real tangible asset, and we would have the security of knowing we're protected no matter what the economy does. What do you think?
I think we need to find out how to get our own private storage IRA. We need to call the Gold Silver Group right now.
Are you ready to protect your future? Call 800-296-7609 now to find out how easy and safe it is to set up a private storage IRA with Gold Silver Group and find out how you can qualify for up to $700 in free silver. All transactions are privately delivered and fully insured. Please call us now. 800-296-7609. 800-296-7609.
Hi, I'm Carl Deichler, the CEO of Beachbody, and I'm here to tell you about an amazing new way you can start losing weight for free right now. You've probably seen our workout DVDs on TV like P90X, Insanity, and 21 Day Fix. We just launched a beta trial of our new digital video platform, Beachbody On Demand. So while we're testing out this new digital video service, I'm inviting you to use it for free for 30 days. That means you can lose 10 pounds, 20 pounds, even 30 pounds without paying a dime. Text the word trial to 303030, and you can do 30 days of P90X, Insanity, or any of over 400 workouts for free. Now here's the catch. In return, all I ask is you let us know what you think of the service so we can make Beachbody On Demand the best fitness and weight loss site ever created. Just text trial to 303030 and get started for free right now. Again, text trial to 303030.
Message and data rates may apply. Membership fees apply after 30-day free trial. Cancel anytime.
Coming to Dallas Sunday night, August 21st. Outcry Summer 2016 Tour, featuring the songs and the sound of Hillsong worship. Plus, Carrie Joe. Featuring Ren Collective, Elevation Worship, and Urban Rescue.
Part of the Dallas Baptist University Concert Series.
an unforgettable night of worship.
660 AM The Answer. KSKY in Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. The official radio station of Decision 2016. The most important election of our lifetime.
Fox News Radio, I'm Jane Metzler. 3 dozen people are dead, dozens more injured after 3 suicide bombers opened fire, then blew themselves up at the Ataturk International Airport in Istanbul. ISIS likely to blame. A prosecutor urging California's governor not to grant parole to a member of the Manson family.
After being denied 19 times before, the California Board of Parole Hearings recommended Leslie Van Houten for release this past April. She was among many Charles Manson followers convicted of murdering Rosemary and Lino LaBianca in 1969. LA County DA Jackie Lacey has written a 5-page letter urging the governor to block Van Houten's parole, writing about the murders in detail and the Manson family's goal of starting a race war.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal Brown denied parole to another Manson family member in January, and the Dow ending up 270 points today. Fox News, we report, you decide.
660 AM The Answer.
The anticipation is finally giving way to reality. Here it comes, the 2016 Republican Convention in Cleveland. Hi, I'm John David Wells, and Mark Davis and I want to invite you to the final night convention watch party.
JD, there's only one thing more exciting than the last night of the convention, with the acceptance speech, the analysis, the official start of the real campaign, and that's the chance to watch it all with listeners.
This will be just like our debate watching parties at Studio Movie Grill, Spring Valley in 75. $10 will get you a ticket at 660amtheanswer.com. Come watch the convention's biggest night with your radio friends.
And bring your friends and family. It's live history in the making, so let's enjoy it together. The 2016 Republican Convention Final Night Watch Party, Studio Movie Grill, Spring Valley in 75. Just $10 for tickets at 660amtheanswer.com.
This event is sponsored by Driving Nails Gunsmithing and Shooter Supply, Adair's Fine Floors, etc., and AAA Auger Plumbing Services.
This is Hugh Hewitt for townhall.com. It would be very difficult to overstate the significance of the United Kingdom's vote last week to exit the European Union. The very fact that a nation of 65 million people with 40 years plus of membership in the EU has voted to sever ties is nothing short of remarkable. It was remarkable because, in part, no one saw it coming. The latest polls seem to give the edge to the Remain camp. Nigel Farage of the UKIP, the UK Independence Party, and one of the proponents of exit, even conceded early in the evening, only to declare later on that, quote, dawn is breaking on an independent United Kingdom. Both Farage and the other big winner of the pro-Brexit side, London's former mayor, Boris Johnson, have said that the date should be marked down as Independence Day. As we approach our own Independence Day, we have to celebrate a victory for our friends across the pond. For indeed, the Brexit vote is a victory for self-governance. It was a victory for freedom. So, to all the friends in our audience, and now to all of our friends across the Atlantic, happy Independence Day. I'm Hugh Hewitt.
You know, I'm not a genius about money. I love my credit cards, and they love me. I was using them as a source of income, and then I got behind in my payments, and creditors were calling. I figured I had a problem, and I didn't know how to deal with it. I heard about Trinity, so I called and talked to a counselor. In half an hour, we worked out a plan. Now I've got one easy monthly payment, a lower interest rate, and I'm getting out of debt.
If you're in an endless cycle of paying on credit card balances that never seem to go away, then get ready for a toll-free number that will put you on a path to financial recovery. Trinity will consolidate your accounts, put a stop to late fees and over-limit charges, reduce your interest, and possibly improve your credit score. You'll save thousands. If your debt has you down, we should talk. Call 1-800-990-6976. That's 1-800-990-6976. Call 1-800-990-6976.
If diets and diet products keep failing to flatten your belly, it may not be a diet product you need. You may need Somabiotics, the shockingly effective breakthrough that flattens bloated bellies fast by cleansing pounds of waste from your body. Right now, you can find out for free how much flatter Somabiotics will make your belly, because they're currently giving away free trials to the public. For yours, call 1-800-500-1179. Strictly, Somabiotics is not a diet product. It's scientifically formulated with natural ingredients to cleanse your system, flatten bloated bellies, and combat periodic heartburn and acid reflux. If your belly flattening results are too dramatic, simply reduce use to every other day. If diets keep failing to flatten your belly, it may not be a diet you need. It may be Somabiotics. Call now for your free trial and see how much flatter it makes your belly. 1-800-500-1179. Hurry, call now for details while they're still giving trials away for free. 1-800-500-1179. That's 1-800-500-1179.
Hey, everybody, Mark Davis for my friends at ViaScan of Las Colinas. You know, good health is a series of good decisions. Decisions to eat right, decisions to exercise more, decisions to go to ViaScan of Las Colinas and find out regularly what's going on inside your body. Right now, do you have heart plaques or blockages that could be a signal of a heart attack about to happen? Do you have little tiny cancer spots going on that you don't even know about? Well, you ought to know about those. It's called early detection. And ViaScan of Las Colinas is your early detection headquarters, saving lives and saving a bunch of money. I'm in there regularly getting my heart checked out, various vital organs. So ask them when you call them at 972-739-2840. 972-739-2840. The heart scan, looking for plaques and blockages. The body scan, looking for cancers. The carotid artery neck scan, looking for stroke risk. The virtual colonoscopy. They do it all at ViaScan of Las Colinas. 972-739-2840. 972-739-2840.
Nearly 200,000 Texans were abused by their intimate partners last year. 74% of Texans will experience abuse or know someone who has. Legal solutions are the only proven, permanent way to break the cycle of violence. Texas Advocacy Project provides free legal assistance to victims of domestic and dating violence, sexual assault, and stalking. Call an attorney and get the free legal assistance you need today. Call 1-800-374-HOPE.
Learn a little something at the start of your day. The Mark Davis Show. Mornings 7 to 10 on 660 AM. The Answer. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is the Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
Welcome to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Telephone number is 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. We are moving through the news, as is our wont. We do this. One quick thing before we move to this next piece of the broadcast. The United Kingdom's vote to leave the European Union last week appears to have been driven in part by the historic surge of immigrants in the recent years that transformed Britain. Legal migration, particularly from Eastern Europe, soared as new countries entered the EU, and their citizens, with the blessings of UK leaders, took advantage of the bloc's freedom of labor laws to enter Britain. Annual legal immigration into the UK is now 10 times what it was in 1993. Experts believe this cultural dynamic fed fears of globalization and job losses, which in turn drove the vote to exit the EU. This was a political screw-up. This was a huge mistake. Politicians are not capable of being able to run something on this level. Opponents of the British exit from the 28-nation EU argue these new residents often take more menial jobs rejected by the British-born. Where have you heard that before? You have understandable concerns about the impact of immigration in the changing world we live in and what that means for pressure on services, schools, and infrastructure, said Peter Cotterall, professor of sociology at the University of Westminster. On the other hand, UK needs immigration for an aging workforce in some areas and to produce a vibrant economy. The migration influx has been so dramatic in recent years that currently 1 in 20 people living in the UK, 3 million people, were citizens of another EU country 2 years ago. Before 2004, when the EU expanded to include 10 new member states, such as Latvia, Poland, other Eastern European nations, net EU immigration to the UK averaged around 10,000 per year. When the expansion occurred, the UK, Ireland, and Sweden allowed EU nationals to immigrate immediately under the bloc's freedom of labor laws. The move unleashed vast numbers relocating to Britain. Last year, 270,000 citizens from EU countries immigrated to the UK. The Statistics Office estimates. About 85,000 Britons left the island for other EU countries. The net migration to the U.S. of 185,000 was a record, including, according to Full Fact, an independent checking organization. Immigration. Immigration from countries that are far behind the cultural norms of Great Britain. Does that sound familiar to you? Today, I'm going through stories of diseases eradicated in the United States making a return, tuberculosis, et cetera, et cetera. The powers that be with these immigrants coming with tuberculosis are carefully scattering them about all over the country so that there aren't any new outbreaks of tuberculosis that would cause somebody to write a news story about it. Too late. Somebody already wrote a news story about it. Donald Trump, when he said that it's time for us to get control of immigration in this nation, is completely correct. People have said, well, he's trying to pivot back to the center. No, he's not, and he better not. The reason that he is where he is because he actually made it plain. Uncontrolled immigration is a nation killer. Uncontrolled immigration is a nation killer. We've seen the Brits throw off the shackles of incompetent political leadership. It's time for we, the people of the United States, to follow in those footsteps. The political process has failed us. Both Democrats and Republicans, betrayed by our parties. Democrats trying to figure out just exactly when their party became the Socialist Progressive Party. Republicans trying to figure out what the Republican Party stands for because it doesn't look like it stands for much. And driving all of it is this dilution of just about every country politics touches. This dilution because of other cultures typically farther behind the societal norms of the country they go to, emigrate freely without any kind of controls. These people are here to only do the jobs that most Britons won't do. These people are here to do jobs Americans won't do. Yeah? Well, we've talked ourselves into that corner to the point where 95 million of us don't work at all. They're on some government program at some point, at some level. Really? Donald Trump right on top of it. It's why he is where he is. He spoke today, did a speech on economics. It was a very good speech. He's getting better with the teleprompter, still not perfect, has a long way to go. But he'll figure it out. He'll start looking like he's speaking and being himself. He called for a new era of Americanism, promising to restore millions of lost factory jobs by backing away from decades of U.S. policy that encouraged trade with other nations, a move that undermined the country's place as the dominant player in the global economy. What we ended up doing was trade deals to empower and cause prosperity for other countries around the world, which we paid for by not having jobs, by having to retrain ourselves, by having to change the economy in which we lived, because the politics of all of it wanted to give all those jobs to those countries more deserving than American workers. That is the political leadership, the political ideology, and yes, it's bipartisan. Yes, it's bipartisan. Make no mistake. Donald Trump is going to have a whole bunch of very serious Democrat voters because they want their jobs back. Strangely enough, they don't want to continue living a life of a government handout when they are fully qualified tradesmen and tradeswomen. They can go out there and earn their own living, thanks, if they just quit sending their jobs to the Pacific Rim. What's wrong with having an American-made shirt? The speech marked a significant break from years of Democrat Party advocacy for unencumbered trade between nations, drew immediate condemnation from GOP business leaders. Those guys need to sit down and shut up. I'm an American citizen. I'm tired of paying for everybody else's prosperity. I want some American prosperity of our own. In the speech, Donald Trump talked about 7 things intended to bring us back to America. Here is the first one. He wants to back away from bad trade deals.
I am going to withdraw the United States from the Trans-Pacific Partnership, which has not yet been ratified.
That is a very good idea. It has not been ratified. It is nothing more than an agreement between the people of the Trans-Pacific Partnership and President Obama. President Obama didn't want to have anything to do with dealing with the Congress on this to make the thing go. Fine, make it disappear. Believe me, the people in the Trans-Pacific Partnership, they'll find a way to deal with and trade with the United States. Believe me, they will. But they're going to have to do it on a more fair basis, a more fair level. A level playing field where everyone wins, including, crazily enough, American citizens and American workers. He says what he's going to do is he's going to put professionals in to fight for America.
I'm going to appoint the toughest and smartest, and I know them all, trade negotiators to fight on behalf of American workers.
Now, remember, he was talking in Pennsylvania today. That's a big Democrat state. And he's talking about things the Republicans haven't been talking about. The Republicans have said, American workers can compete on any level, anywhere in the world. Even somebody living in a mud hut in Bangladesh who's able to put together a shirt for Walmart that only costs them 28 cents to produce. But they sell for 14, 18, 25, 40 bucks. It's not just Walmart. I'm not picking on Walmart. I mean, if you are in the business of providing retail goods, you're going to get those goods at the highest possible quality at the lowest possible cost. That is market pressure. That is a good thing, not a bad thing. But what we have to do here is we have to have a more level playing field. Maybe Bangladesh only gets half the market for American shirts. The other half comes back to America. I'd kind of like that. Donald Trump continued with 7 steps he intends to bring back jobs to America. This one included the Secretary of Commerce.
Direct the Secretary of Commerce to identify every violation of trade agreements a foreign country is currently using to harm you, the American worker. I will then direct all appropriate agencies to use every tool under American and international law to end these abuses. And abuse is the right word.
Yes, it is. Then he decided to start talking about NAFTA.
I'm going to tell our NAFTA partners that I intend to immediately renegotiate the terms of that agreement to get a better deal by a lot, not just a little, by a lot for our workers. And if they don't agree to a renegotiation, which they might not, because they're so used to having their own way, not with Trump, they won't have their own way, then I will submit under Article 2205 of the NAFTA agreement that America intends to withdraw from the deal.
That is, unfortunately, I think what it's going to take. We got ourselves into this mess through a lot of political wheeling and dealing. Made a lot of friends for a lot of politicians in a lot of different countries. But what we have to do is we have to do something different now. It's time for us to re-import American prosperity from countries that have had it in place of us. You're listening to the Wells Report.
We all know life can get crazy and you're not always near a radio. But one thing is for sure, your phone goes everywhere with you. And now we can too. Download the 660 AM The Answer app to your phone and listen live wherever you go. If you miss any of the Mark Davis Show or the Wells Report, you can catch up whenever, wherever. Plus, dial the 660 AM The Answer studio directly from the app. And it's free. We make it easy to stay connected. Download our app now. 660 AM The Answer.
Home insurance.
Yes, I'd like to make a claim.
What are you wanting to claim, sir?
My air conditioner broke down.
Sorry, but your home insurance doesn't cover air conditioner breakdowns.
So what do you cover?
Home damage from things like earthquakes, volcanoes, a zombie apocalypse.
A zombie apocalypse? But that'll never happen.
But if it did, you'd be covered, sir.
But not my air conditioner?
I'm afraid not.
But his air conditioner could have been covered with a home warranty from American Home Shield, plus components of 20 other major home systems and appliances, like his electrical system, plumbing, refrigerator, and more. For valuable free information, call 1-800-700-1134. Home insurance can cover what might happen.
Zombies are coming!
But a home warranty helps cover what will happen.
Now the dryer won't work.
Life happens. Have a plan. Get a home warranty from American Home Shield. For valuable free information, call 1-800-700-1134. That's 1-800-700-1134. 1-800-700-1134.
This is a life-changing message for anyone with sleep apnea who is on the go and tired of dragging around a big, bulky home CPAP device. MiniCPAP.com now offers a portable device that's as small as a soda can and weighs less than a pound. For even more freedom, you can add a battery that's as tiny as a deck of cards. It's called the Transcend Mini CPAP, and right now you can try it risk-free for 10 days by calling 1-800-300-0338. Transcend is the world's first portable mini CPAP device. It gives you the freedom to sleep in total comfort anywhere you are. Our smallest and most advanced portable design ever, Transcend is so small and so light you can fit it in your briefcase or purse to use anywhere you go. It's FAA compliant too, so you can even sleep comfortably while flying. Enjoy the freedom to sleep comfortably anywhere. Call minicpap.com now for your 10-day at-home trial. 1-800-300-0338. That's 1-800-300-0338.
Hey, it's Mark Davis for my friends at Abacus Foundation Repair. You and I both know that the warmer, wetter seasons in Texas can give us real foundation problems. Wet spells, dry spells. Let me put you in touch with Abacus Foundation Repair if you even think you've got any kind of foundation problem. This is what I did. I called them. You'll be glad you did too. At 972-406-9000. Call the right people first. Abacus Foundation Repair, 972-406-9000. Why are they the right people to call if you got cracks in the walls or sheetrock or doors that are sticking or any kind of suspicion? Because they're going to map your house with the skill of an engineer. Look for possible causes like a plumbing issue so the problem doesn't come back. When they're done, you get a lifetime warranty. You can transfer free and clear to any new owner. It adds to your home's value. North Texas homeowners trust Abacus Foundation Repair, so give them a call. 972-406-9000. Abacus, A-B-A-C-U-S, abacusfoundationrepair.com. You'll be glad you called, so call 972-406-9000 or abacusfoundationrepair.com.
As a listener of the financial diva Victoria Woods on this station, you know that she only makes two statements about the market with absolute certainty. It's going to go up and it's going to go down. Volatility is part of investing, and if that's a roller coaster ride you're just not interested in taking anymore, it's time to consider protecting a minimum of 25% of your hard-earned retirement dollars. Call 888-838-3482 today. If you're 10 to 15 years from retirement, having the right balance of protection and growth in your retirement portfolio is one way to rest easy when the market is doing cartwheels. Call Chapelwood Financial Services at 888-838-3482 to discover how you can have that balanced plan. Protection of a portion of your assets is the foundation of your retirement plan. Don't lose another minute of sleep worrying about the next market correction. Contact Chapelwood Financial at 888-838-3482 or email office@chapelwood.com. That's 2 P's and 1 L to ask how you can protect your money today. That's 888-838-3482. 3482.
In Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 2, God says, "Write in a book all the words I've spoken to you." Is there a story in you today? Have you ever felt urged by God to write those words in a book? Zulon Press is the largest, most experienced Christian self-publisher in the world, and they're offering a free publishing guide at christianpublishingguide.com. They've helped thousands of people just like you tell their stories and touch thousands of lives.
Share your story and find out more today at 660amtheanswer.com. Visit 660amtheanswer.com now.
Listen to us live on iHeartRadio, 660 AM. The Answer. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. The Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. We are talking about Donald Trump and what he wants to do regarding trade around the world with the United States. Chris in Carrollton, what do you think? Thanks for joining us. Welcome to the Wells Report.
Hey, John, first-time listener, actually first-time caller. I saw on your LinkedIn that you had worked in the Las Vegas market, I guess, way back in the... Did you ever meet Art Bell back when back in his heyday? And
there's kind of a funny story about that. Do you remember when Art Bell lost his wife?
Ramona, yeah.
Yes, and he was devastated by that. I called him on the telephone and offered, I was living in Henderson at the time, and that's about 45 minutes in a straight line away from Pahrump, and I offered to sit in for him anytime he felt like he needed a break, because I was very heartbroken along with him that he'd lost his mate. I know what that meant. And so what ended up happening is that he reached out to John B. Wells instead of John D. Wells. And I missed out on filling in for Art Bell. I thought,
and then John B. Wells ended up getting hired on Premiere full time, but I think he's doing his own internet show now. But wow,
yes, he owes me. He owes me big, and I'm not going to forget it either.
I tell you,
he and I are friends. We laugh about that. It's really funny.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I lived in the Las Vegas area for a while, and I had a friend of mine who knew a guy who knew George Knapp as well, who also does Coast to Coast. Sure. He's been down at Channel 8 for all those years. But the reason for the call is I know you had mentioned before that the trade is, in a sense, was bipartisan, free trade, signed by Bill Clinton, ultimately. So, and he actually campaigned on it, Ross.
Well, NAFTA did part of it. I mean, NAFTA was part of it. That was something that wasn't necessarily, Ross Perot said that NAFTA was a bad idea. And, and it turned out to be, depending on your point of view, it turned out to be that way. Well, what it does is it puts downward pressure on wages, which keeps inflation under control.
That's correct. And Ross Perot was the only one talking about this at the time. And, what we have now is what I refer to as a loose labor market. And what invariably happens in loose labor markets is you have a lot of pent-up resentment, typically from white males with a high school diploma or less that worked in manufacturing for a lot of years. And now that employers can be a little bit more selective, that breeds a lot of ageism. They could be more selective. It used to be a time in this country, I'm only 26 years old, but, you're a few years older than me. You could probably remember a time where, before free trade, jobs were just a lot more, the wages were good because it was just tough to find people.
It really was, and it was during the Bush administration. It was back when employment was just barely over 5%. And it wasn't, and we had a labor participation rate that was hugely better than it is now. I mean, everybody that wanted a job in America had a job in America. And they needed more. And during those circumstances, people coming in from other countries to do those jobs, not a bad idea. But then the economy cooled thanks to President Obama. And suddenly what ended up happening is that now those people who got a job because we just flat needed more workers kept the job because they were cheaper And those people who were making more money ended up getting turfed. And that's where the resentment came from. You're listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM The Answer.
This is Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, and I'd like to invite you to join me for our talk show every Sunday morning. We're actually trying to convert the world to organics. We talk about the natural organic program for farming, ranching, gardening, and pest control. Also, a lot of talk about health issues for animals and people. Hope you can join us for all the fun.
Make sure to tune in to Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, every Sunday morning from 8 to 11 a.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer.
Raise your hand if you think you know what identity theft is. Just kidding. This is a radio commercial. We can't tell if your hand is up. But we can tell you that if you think identity theft is when someone adds charges to your credit card, you're only partially right. Identity theft is when someone pretends to be you, to open new accounts in your name, or any number of other bad things. That's where LifeLock can help. We use proprietary technology to detect and alert you to a whole range of identity threats. And if you have a problem, our U.S.-based team of specialists will work to fix it. You'll get more protection with LifeLock than you get from free credit monitoring alone. Obviously, no one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses, but LifeLock is the best identity theft protection available. Count off your first year. Visit LifeLock.com and use promo code FREEDOM15. That's FREEDOM15 to take advantage of an incredible 15% discount off your first year. Act now. Offer ends July 3rd. Go to LifeLock.com and enter promo code FREEDOM15. LifeLock.
Hi, I'm Carl Deichler, the CEO of Beachbody, and I'm here to tell you about an amazing new way you can start losing weight for free right now. You've probably seen our workout DVDs on TV like P90X, Insanity, and 21 Day Fix. We just launched a beta trial of our new digital video platform, Beachbody On Demand. So while we're testing out this new digital video service, I'm inviting you to use it for free for 30 days. That means you can lose 10 pounds, 20 pounds, even 30 pounds without paying a dime. Text the word trial to 303030 and you can do 30 days of P90X, Insanity, or any of over 400 workouts for free. Now here's the catch. In return, all I ask is you let us know what you think of the service so we can make Beachbody On Demand the best fitness and weight loss site ever created. Just text trial to 303030 and get started for free right now. Again, text trial to 303030.
Message and data rates may apply. Membership fees apply after 30-day free trial. Cancel anytime.
Do you have low back or neck pain? Does it run down your arms or your legs? Do you have a bulging or herniated disc degeneration, or spinal arthritis? Even worse, have you been told you need back surgery or injections? If you answered yes, then please listen to what I have to say. My name is Dr. Chad Vines, DC, at Genesis Back and Neck, and I use the most advanced spinal decompression system available, the DRX 9000, to correct back problems just like yours. We don't use addictive drugs, and we don't use any type of dangerous invasive surgery for these problems. Spinal decompression is safe, FDA cleared, and it's not painful, and has about an 86% success rate. We accept most insurances, and your first visit will be at no charge. You will sit down and visit with me personally until I've answered all of your questions. And if you're a candidate for decompression, you can try out the treatment all at no charge to you. So if you're ready to not hurt anymore and don't want to have surgery, call me at 817-328-1922. That's 817-328-1922 or online at mylowback.com.
American Leak Detection. Leak detection without destruction. We find leaks without bashing a hole.
Hi, Will Nell with American Leak Detection. When the weather is dry, many people believe their foundation is failing, when in fact, what you have is a plumbing leak. Leaking pipes under your slab can cause movement in your foundation and expensive damage to your home. So before you have your foundation fixed, you should get your plumbing checked. With state-of-the-art technology, American Leak Detection is the only name to call. We are the original leak specialists. We can locate your plumbing leak without destruction and then repair it. Don't let a plumbing leak under your foundation go undetected or waste money on unnecessary foundation repair. Go to AmericanLeakDetection.com today. That's AmericanLeakDetection.com.
We're American Leak Detection. American Leak Detection.
Hey, it's Mark Davis with one of your prime summer needs, a good carpet cleaning. Summer is a busy time, so call Zero Res. Call them often. It's a $33 per room carpet cleaning special, 214-37-CLEAN. 214-37-CLEAN. They'll do the carpets. While they're there, let them Do hardwood floors, granite countertops, drapes, upholstery. When they're done cleaning whatever you want, 2 free passes to any of the 5 DFW Hawaiian Falls water parks. It's zero res, the best carpet cleaning, and so much more. I use them. You should too. 214-37-CLEAN.
This is 660 AM. The Answer. If it's important to you, it's on the Wells Report on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. I like this man who speaks of America first. I've said for a long time that it's our turn. We, the people of the United States, have been very generous in, with our economic might, being able to spread the wealth around the world. And that's what we do. That's what all of these deals are about. It isn't necessarily evil politicians trying to rob the American people. These people are trying to essentially export prosperity from America to these nations who could really use it. But that's been the calling for all of my professional life. While I'm reasonably sure that my industry is not going to be touched by Donald Trump's reforms if he becomes the president, that doesn't mean that I can't see that my fellow Americans are hurting. It's time for that prosperity that we've been exporting to stay home a little bit, for a little while. Especially for those in my generation looking to try to figure out some way of retiring. Wayne in Dallas, welcome to the Wells Report. Hello.
Hi, JD. Good subject. Good subject tonight. I want to make a couple observations here. First up, it's crazy that Trump is really channeling the message Pat Buchanan had, as well as Ross Perot, over 20 years ago. And if we'd only listened back then, just think where we'd be. I feel like there is a way to do trade, but it must be fair trade as well as free trade. And that was missed on our negotiators. And the other thing on trade is what people forgot to or never thought about was for those factory jobs, they created a lot of accounting jobs, management, as well as engineering. So when they went, a lot of those higher white-collar jobs went along with it. And again, that was just one of those issues that was glossed over, and now we pay a terrible price because a lot of our kids have nowhere to go as far as some of the opportunities that used to be here 20 years ago.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's no doubt about it. I mean, there were job losses across the board. And that brain drain is going to catch us here. When some of these jobs come back, it's going to be interesting to see how long it takes us to be able to spin back up to where we used to be.
Yeah, that's a big question. I mean, it's going to be a very difficult to try and figure out too. But hopefully, if we get things turned around and get a national movement going, hopefully that'll work. And while I have you on illegal immigration,
yes,
let's put it in proper context. This is a colonization process. A lot of these people are not assimilating like past generations, and I personally feel it's part of a demographic war that's being waged against us. And unfortunately, there are parts of our government that feel it's a wonderful idea.
All I can say on that is that with the way these people handle the rest of their business, I doubt very sincerely that this amazing arch plot could possibly be in place. You know what I think it is? I think it's easier explained by the fact that, hey, one of these days what we'll do is we're just importing Democrat voters. What we're going to do, what we're doing, I mean, just keep it simple. Look for the simplest possible explanation. These people are being imported to the country to cast votes Americans won't cast.
Well, yeah, you can look at it simply there, but you have to understand, though, that the way this whole thing is going down is our veterans are being shortchanged so that illegal aliens can live like kings over here with the free housing, the food, and everything else. I mean, what people what government in their right mind does that to their veterans and people that have shed blood for this country? Let me tell you another thing about the crime issue. If you look in YouTube, Rick Perry gave an interview where he claimed that in the last 7-8 years, 3,000 Texans have been murdered by illegal aliens, 5,000 sex crimes, and over 600,000 property crimes. So we've had a mini 9/11 down here, but the national media goes crazy over this nightclub shooting, which was horrendous. But 3,000 people, 3,000 dead Texans gone, and barely a blip on the media.
Well, let's talk a little bit about that. I mean, that story was something we reported. I guess it was last week. That the president and the administration had understated the number of crimes by illegals in this country that had been arrested and released by a factor of 90%. They were only reporting some 10% of the recidivist crime that had been going on. 10%. Hundreds of thousands of crimes. Hundreds of murders, kidnappings, rapes. Thousands of DUIs. On and on and on. You see, this is I understand what you're saying, Wayne, and I appreciate your call. I really do. But at the end of all of this, this is, I believe it's more incompetence than calculation. That's really what I believe it is, beyond just a very simple, let's get as many people in here as we possibly can. The Republicans do it because what they want to do is they want to keep wages low, lower prices on wages, so that inflation doesn't come and blow up the profits of everyone. And the Democrats do it because what they're trying to do is they're trying to make it possible for illegal citizens to vote, which is why we have so much trouble getting people to actually have to show an ID to prove that they're in the country legally. That's why. Only Democrats ever complain about the fact that their voters are being disenfranchised. Why is that? Well, because their voters are illegal. That's why. Trump went on with his 7 ideas, 7 things that he wants to do to bring back jobs to America. This one involved the Treasury Secretary tapping on the shoulder of the Red Chinese.
Number 5, I'm going to instruct my Treasury Secretary to label China a currency manipulator, which should have been done years ago. Any country that devalues their currency in order to take unfair advantage of the United States, which is many countries, will be met with sharply. And that includes tariffs and taxes.
And those are the time-honored tools that have been left aside by politicians attempting to export American prosperity to other countries. It is a tool that has been overused. It is a tool that is drawing frustration from the Americans after a long use, 20 years at least. You know, there are a lot of people that will decry protectionism and so on and so on. Well, they don't work in the jobs that these people need jobs in. You know, they sit back in their ivory towers and, make their money with stocks and bonds and so on and so on. There are 95 million Americans out of work. I'm betting at least half of them don't want to be in that position. They're only in that position because the government's paying them. $19 trillion and counting. There's also some other things that China's doing. They're ignoring patent law, copyright. China is just plain cheating, and it's about time somebody called them on it.
I'm going to instruct the U.S. Trade Representative to bring trade cases against China, both in this country and at the WTO. China's unfair subsidy behavior is prohibited by the terms of its entrance to the WTO, and I intend to enforce those rules and regulations, and basically, I intend to enforce the agreements for all countries, including China. If China does not stop its illegal activities, including its theft of American trade secrets, I will use every lawful president. Hey, look, this is very easy. This is so easy. I love saying this. I will use every lawful presidential power to remedy trade disputes, including the application of tariffs consistent with Section 201 and 301 of the Trade Act of 1974 and Section 232 of the Trade Expansion Act of 1962. And when they say trade expansion, they're talking about other countries. They're not talking about us because there is no expansion. They get the expansion, we get the joblessness. That's the way it works. Not going to happen anymore.
Yeah. So China is obviously a very bad actor on the economic stage. Here's the bad news. They have to be. They got 1 billion people to feed. They got 1 billion people to feed. Trump needs to be careful with what he does with China. Because China's on a very narrow ledge. Now, don't get me wrong. There is no excuse for doing what they're doing. It is high time that someone stop China from the absolute breakage of international law that they are guilty of every single day. That truly is. It's time for somebody to do that. And if not Donald Trump, why not? Donald Trump's perfect for this. He knows everything there is to know about this. But I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I want Donald Trump to come up with a trade deal that works for everyone. I mean, look at it this way. China is just robbing us blind. If Donald Trump is successful in getting China to rob us half as blind, that's a 100% increase in our 100% increase in our profits coming out of China. But he said something that I hope he sticks with. All these deals have to be good for everyone involved. Right now, America gets the shaft. That's the way it's been for the last at least 20 years. Every trade deal, Americans get screwed. But that is the wonder of an economy as big as the United States. There are a lot of deals like that you can make before people start to feel it. Well, we're feeling it now. And the reason we're feeling it isn't necessarily because American manufacturing has been exported to other countries. A lot of it has to do with the fact that the American economy that replaced the manufacturing economy that was outsourced has not been fed by friendly American governmental policies. So in other words, the growth of the economy hasn't been there. That's why we're all hurting. That's why we haven't had that's why we haven't had a raise in 10 years. It's because we don't have any growth rate to justify, to expand. We don't have the financial and economic expansion to be able to hide all of these lousy trade practices in. And that is because the Obama administration doesn't know anything about economics. And regardless of what Hillary Clinton says, she doesn't know anything about economics either. She doesn't know anything about it. The only economics that Hillary Clinton knows anything about are her own personal economics, which she leverages and leveraged through the Department of State. When she was the Secretary of State. That is all the economics that Hillary Clinton cares about. At least that's my opinion. So for whatever it's worth, please take that for whatever you see. Look, it's been so long since we've had a government that actually protected American jobs. I verily doubt that any of us ever remember a time when American jobs were actually protected with tariffs and taxes. There's another way to do it. It does, however, risk inflation. Remember, inflation is from the salary side. When we have more money, the market expands to soak it up. So when you hear Donald Trump talking about all this stuff, remember it does come with a price. It does. But that's thankfully years down the line. You're listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM The Answer.
Hey, does the idea of having your home sold on time without hassle and for top dollar, does that seem unrealistic to you? Hey, Dallas, it's your friend Sean Hannity, one real estate agent to sell your home guaranteed. That's Josh DeShong of Josh DeShong Real Estate at Keller Williams. Josh averages hundreds of local, national, and international buyers every single week. Now, that means your home sells on time at a price that you agreed to, guaranteed, or Josh will buy it. Josh's clients voted, and both D Magazine and Texas Monthly ranked him as the best real estate agent in Dallas. Real estate mogul and Shark Tank star Barbara Corcoran only recommends Josh in DFW. And if I lived in Dallas and needed my home sold, guess what? I'd call Josh DeShong, and you should too. Call Josh now at 972-325-6644 or go online at getsold.net. That's 972-325-6644 or getsold.net and start packing.
Be honest. Will owning a bigger TV help you get ahead in life? Will another pair of shoes make you a better person? Probably not. But what if you could speak another language? If acquiring a new language excites you more than acquiring more stuff, then wait until you hear this. As part of its biggest language learning event in history, Rosetta Stone is giving away demos of its powerful language learning software absolutely free. For your free demo, call 1-800-600-8119. And Rosetta Stone has made language learning more convenient than ever. Learn on your computer or iPad, then practice on the go with your smartphone or MP3 player without ever opening a book or memorizing boring vocabulary again. Do you want more stuff, or do you want a language that will last a lifetime? After all, it's all about priorities. To try a free demo of this powerful language learning software, call 1-800-600-8119. Again, get your free demo now. 1-800-600-8119. That's 1-800-600-8119.
Bill Bennett here to tell you about Augusta Precious Metals. What if you could store your IRA or 401k where you can see, touch, and hold it in person in the form of physical gold and silver coins? I know I would, and you can't do that with stocks. With the Augusta Gold and Silver IRA, you can transfer retirement savings into physical coins, store them where you can actually see them. Free shipping, zero management fees, and Augusta pays all upfront costs. Getting started is absolutely free. Rated A+ with the Better Business Bureau, enjoys a 98% 5-star customer satisfaction rating with TrustLink.org. Trust Augusta. Call toll-free 1-855-222-5882 now for your free guide to Augusta Gold IRAs. Call toll-free 1-855-222-5882. That's 1-855-222-5882 or visit AugustaPreciousMetals.com.
Hey, it's Mark Davis. I'll bet you've heard a lot about the money you can save leasing a car versus buying. Well, now there's a way to save even more. Brass Hat Leasing. In car lingo, a brass hat vehicle is a program car, factory demo, extremely low miles, very near showroom condition. But since it can't be titled as new, you save a bunch. Go to BrassHatLeasing.com. Shop through the inventory, see and drive the car you want at their location near DFW Airport, or just order and take delivery. Brass Hat Leasing, with a wide selection of makes and models, featuring leases and even sales, if you like, of these next new vehicles, giving you a huge savings opportunity. In fact, here's the Brass Hat Leasing deal of the day.
$322 per month for a 2016 Dodge Charger SE sedan with $999 down plus TTNL, 12,000 miles per year for a 36-month lease. If you need more miles per year, they can build them right into your payment in most cases.
So close to new, yet so much more affordable. BrassHatLeasing.com. 855-998-2202, 855-998-2202, or BrassHatLeasing.com.
Be a part of history. Come spend an evening with the artist that has inspired, encouraged, and shaped your faith for over 30 years. Sandy Patty's Forever Grateful, the Farewell Tour. a pioneer whose ministry has helped shape Christian music for over 3 decades. This is your last opportunity to experience the voice.
Sandy Patty at Gateway Church in Southlake.
Sandy Patty, 7 p.m. Sunday night, October 30th.
Part of the Dallas Baptist University concert series.
Tickets available now for your last chance to see Sandy Patty on tour at premierproductions.com. Don't wait, this concert is selling fast. Don't miss your chance to experience the music and ministry of Sandy Patty. Produced by Fill the Gap Concerts.
660 AM. The Answer. Only for Texas. This is the Wells Report on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. Thanks very much for joining us. You can find us on YouTube Live Events right this very moment. The show is broadcasting live, and I look very, very macho and very muscular in my black shirt. See? Look. See this? It's very, very...
I don't see it.
You need glasses, okay?
I've got them on.
Yeah, whatever. Punk. So anyway, we were talking a little bit about the terror attack in Turkey today. And I said, we have to do something about this. We have to do something about this right now. We have to have somebody that's willing to tell the American people what they need to know, not what he wants them to know based on his political legacy. Newt Gingrich had strong words along those lines earlier today with Sean Hannity when he was discussing just exactly what has to happen among American leadership right this minute regarding the terror question.
But I'm here to tell you, if we don't start telling the American people the truth, we're going to pay in dead Americans for our unwillingness to have a fierce, direct national debate.
He's absolutely correct. We have to quit playing around with this. Nothing, no matter what the president believes. Not even with President Obama. Not even President Obama's legacy is more important than doing the right thing for the American people and this country. This president is going to have to make some sort of serious gesture against this before he leaves office. Or Newt Gingrich will be right. We will pay for that mistake in dead Americans. This is the Wells Report. The anticipation is finally giving way to reality. Here it comes, the 2016 Republican Convention in Cleveland. Hi, I'm John David Wells, and Mark Davis and I want to invite you to the final night convention watch party.
JD, there's only one thing more exciting than the last night of the convention with the acceptance speech, the analysis, the official start of the real campaign, and that's the chance to watch it all with listeners.
This will be just like our debate watching parties at Studio Movie Grill, Spring Valley in 75. $10 will get you a ticket at 660amtheanswer.com. Come watch the convention's biggest night with your radio friends.
And bring your friends and family. It's live history in the making, so let's enjoy it together. The 2016 Republican Convention Final Night Watch Party, Studio Movie Grill, Spring Valley in 75. Just $10 for tickets at 660amtheanswer.com.
This event is sponsored by Driving Nails Gunsmithing and Shooter Supply, Adair's Fine Floors, etc., and AAA Auger Plumbing Services.
Hey, it's Mark Davis. In this campaign year, everything we say and do seems to have a political side, even paying our cell phone bill. If you're in bed with Big Mobile, they're contributing to Hillary, and that means you are too. Join me in switching over to Patriot Mobile, 1-800-A-PATRIOT or patriotmobile.com. Same quality of service, better prices, supporting better causes. And look at this, a summer special. The free Samsung Galaxy S5 or a free iPhone 5S, unlimited talk, text, and data for just $50. That's incredible. Patriot Mobile, wonderful people. I love them. Go to patriotmobile.com. And if you switch today at 1-800-A-PATRIOT, 1-800-A-PATRIOT, they will send you a free signed copy of my book, Lone Star America, How Texas Can Save Our Country. So come on, same quality of service, better prices, supporting better causes. Join the revolution. It's Patriot Mobile, 1-800-A-PATRIOT, 1-800-A-PATRIOT to get the free Lone Star America. Learn more at patriotmobile.com, patriotmobile.com, and then give them a call, 1-800-A-PATRIOT, 1-800-A-PATRIOT. Patriot.
It's time to honor our veterans with the Starkey Mortgage Veteran of the Month. If you know a veteran who deserves this honor, then go to 660amtheanswer.com and nominate them to be the Starkey Mortgage Veteran of the Month. Winners will receive a gift card from Crossroads Diner, a $100 gift card from the Crazy Gun Dealer, and an award from Starkey Mortgage. Plus, come up to the studios to meet Mark Davis and John David Wells. Go to 660amtheanswer.com to nominate your veteran. That's the Starkey Mortgage Veteran of the Month. Starkey Mortgage is an equal housing lender, NMLS number 2146. This is not a commitment to link. Specific underwriting guidelines must be met.
660 AM The Answer. KSKY Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. The official radio station of Decision 2016. The most important election of our lifetime.
Fox News Radio, I'm Rich Dennison. At least 36 people were killed in a terror attack at Istanbul's Ataturk Airport. Dozens of others wounded. Officials in Turkey say at least 3 attackers opened fire near the check-in area, then blew themselves up.
There are very few groups in that part of the world that have the technology and the capability to build bombs that strong and to build at least 3, and that would be ISIS.
Fox's Catherine Herridge. A woman is hospitalized in serious condition after a gunman opened fire in a downtown Denver office building Tuesday.
It appears that the victim was targeted by the suspect.
Denver police spokesman Doug Shepman says the suspect died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. California voters will decide in November whether to legalize recreational marijuana. State officials say initiative supporters turned in more than enough signatures to place the question on the ballot. Fox News, we report, you decide.
660 AM The Answer. Listen on iHeartRadio.
If diets and diet products keep failing to flatten your belly, it may not be a diet product you need. You may need Somabiotics, the shockingly effective breakthrough that flattens bloated bellies fast by cleansing pounds of waste from your body. Right now, you can find out for free how much flatter Somabiotics will make your belly, because they're currently giving away free trials to the public. For yours, call 1-800-500-1179. Strict limit of 1 per household. Somabiotics is not a diet product. It's scientifically formulated with natural ingredients to cleanse your system, flatten bloated bellies, and combat periodic heartburn and acid reflux. If your belly flattening results are too dramatic, simply reduce use to every other day. If diets keep failing to flatten your belly, it may not be a diet you need. It may be Somabiotics. Call now for your free trial and see how much flatter it makes your belly. 1-800-500-1179. Hurry, call now for details while they're still giving trials away for free. 1-800-500-1179. That's 1-800-500-1179.
If you or someone you love is suffering from hearing loss, please stay tuned for a special free offer from the makers of a revolutionary hearing breakthrough called Listen Clear. Listen Clear is precisely designed by top audio engineers to fit the ear almost invisibly, and it can be adjusted to find the perfect way to hear everything in every listening environment. Right now, we're offering absolutely free in-home trials to everyone who calls now. 1-800-600-0738. Call in the next 10 minutes, and you'll also receive free shipping and free batteries for life. Listen Clear is lightweight and practically invisible, so people won't notice when you're wearing it. So again, if you or someone you love is suffering from hearing loss, please give them or yourself this life-changing 100% free in-home trial with free shipping and free batteries for life. For free information, call now. 1-800-600-0738. That's 1-800-600-0738. 1-800-600-0738.
Based on actual cases, results may vary, not a solicitation for legal services. Have you received a letter or personal visit from the IRS? Has the IRS garnished your paycheck or seized your bank account? If so, you need to take action now. You're a target of the most powerful collection agency in the world, and you need representation you can trust. Don't get scammed by imitators and telemarketers' high-pressure tactics. At Wall & Associates, they develop trust with their clients through a free face-to-face consultation. They've saved their clients over $129 million in the past 5 years. Call 1-800-983-5313 now for your free face-to-face consultation. Ignoring your tax problem will only make it worse. Call 1-800-983-5313 to get immediate help. With over 30 years of experience, Wall & Associates has helped thousands of taxpayers, and they can help you. Call now, 1-800-983-5313, 800-983-5313, wallandassociates.net.
Are you a responsible person who finds yourself going deeper and deeper in credit card debt and you're not sure how to fix the problem? Then get ready for a toll-free number that will put you on a path to financial recovery. Trinity Debt Management is a nonprofit organization that will consolidate your accounts into one easy-to-manage monthly payment. Put a stop to late fees and over-limit charges, and reduce your interest rates by as much as 60%. You'll save thousands and become debt-free for keeps. It's not a loan. It's a smart way to relieve your stress, meet your obligations, and preserve your self-respect. If your debt has you down, we should talk. Gather up your bills and call this toll-free number for a free, no-obligation debt analysis. 1-800-990-6976. That's 1-800-990-6976. If you're in debt and you need help, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
It takes a lot of courage to face your own death, but I'm glad I finally did. See, I was putting off getting life insurance to protect my family, even though I knew it was important. Then my neighbor's husband died. I watched her struggle emotionally and financially. It really made me face reality. If my husband died, how would I pay the mortgage, the car payments, or keep up the life the kids and I had? I realized I needed to get us life insurance right away. So I called AIG Direct. In less than 5 minutes, I had a quote. I was shocked at how affordable it is. Just $14 a month for $250,000 of term life coverage. I feel so much better knowing my family has protection.
Call AIG Direct right now for a free no-obligation quote. The call takes less than 5 minutes, and you can save up to 70%. Call now, 1-800-900-1904. That's 1-800-900-1904. 1-800-900-1904.
Nearly 200,000 Texans were abused by their intimate partners last year. 74% of Texans will experience abuse or know someone who has. Legal solutions are the only proven, permanent way to break the cycle of violence. Texas Advocacy Project provides free legal assistance to victims of domestic and dating violence, sexual assault, and stalking. Call an attorney and get the free legal assistance you need today. Call 1-800-374-HOPE.
660 AM. The Answer. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is the Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. From money.cnn.com. Somebody asked a really bad question. Which of the following comes closer to your opinion on the economic system in the U.S.? The economic system is rigged in favor of certain groups. The economic system is fair to all Americans. Or 3, I don't know. Which do you think is true? 866-660-5759. I'd like to take a few calls on this. And I want you to answer this question. Which of the following comes closer to your opinion on the U.S. economy? The economy is rigged in favor of certain groups. The economy is fair to all Americans. Or I don't know. 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. You're not going to believe what some of the results are here. But I want you to answer that question. Which of the following comes closer to your opinion on the economic system in the U.S.? The economy is rigged in favor of certain groups. The economy is fair to all Americans. I don't know. Those are the three choices. 866-660-5759, 866-660-5759. Go ahead and call. No argument here. No argument here at all. All I'm trying to do at this point is I just want to hear what you have to say. Take 5 or 6 calls here. 866-660-5759. Select between these three options. This was a poll by Marketplace and Edison Research. Okay. Simple question. Which of the following comes closer to your opinion on the economic system in the U.S.? The economy is rigged in favor of certain groups. The economy is fair to all Americans. Or 3, I don't know. Michael in Dallas, thanks for joining us. Welcome to the Wells Report. Hello.
How's it going?
Good, man. What do you think?
I'm thinking it's rigged.
Why do you think it's rigged?
You got to look at it like it is, okay?
Yeah.
United States of America was founded by the English. The English system still works in America. We have taxes, and you figure, what is it? 99% of the wealth in America is controlled by 1% of Americans. And the 1% of the wealth that's left over is shared amongst the 99% that's left.
You know, there's something wrong with that. There's something wrong with that statistic. I haven't been able to find it, but I know there's something wrong with it. And the reason is because there's more money than that. The number,
there's more money than 100%.
No. There's 100% money, but there's more money that's not accounted for by those statistics. It cannot be that 1% make 99% of the money. Can't be. There isn't enough money in the economy to be able to cover. No. Okay, wait a minute. Hold on.
Count the number of millionaires. And then count the number of homeless.
Michael, all you have to do here on this is look at this realistically. The only way that a government the size of the United States government can have enough money to operate is because of a big middle class. The middle class has most money.
What you say is true. However, the government of the United States does not have enough money to operate. It's running trillions and trillions of dollars of deficit.
This is true. However, regardless of whether it's deficit or whether it's a simple operating cost, it still would not work without a strong middle class. I mean, because
here's my last point.
Okay.
When Bill Clinton left office,
yes,
we were in the positive.
Why?
First, we were in the positive.
Why?
Regardless of why, we were there.
Yeah, but you know why.
When Bush came into office, it went to the negative.
Why?
Then just because of his choices, the government's choices, the Congress, those people who make those decisions.
What happened when Bush came into office?
What happened?
9/11.
No, Bush didn't come into office in 2011. 2001.
Yes, he did.
He did not come into office in 2001.
Yes, he had been in office 8 months when 9/11 happened.
Yes. So you're telling me that simply because the Twin Towers went down, Bush dragged us into a terrible financial situation?
He spent five, and I barked about this at the time. He spent $5 trillion in reorganizing the government and creating the Department of Homeland Security.
When all he really needed to do was send 17 special forces to kill Bin Laden, and he should have held Bin Laden's parents hostage instead of flying them out the next day.
Well, it was not quite that simple. Okay.
Why couldn't he kept them in America? Why couldn't he held on to those parents until their son presented himself to answer for what he did?
We don't know the bigger picture behind that. Okay, I understand that there were some Saudi royal family members that were immediately evacuated out of the United States. We also have to remember
Bin Laden's parents. The first flight after when 9/11 happened, all planes were grounded. The first flight after the grounding was Bin Laden's parents heading out of the United States. Bin Laden was responsible for the Twin Towers. I would have held them hostage. I'm a United States veteran. I believe in the United States of America.
Well, so do I, and
exactly.
I appreciate all your service.
Reports, this, that, and the other. However, another thing, it's just like way back in the day when they had kings, squires, knights, what have you. You got these corporations consolidating all the power and all the money for all the investors and the stockholders, what have you.
Well, there's a bigger problem with that, but let's not stray off of this. Listen,
I'm talking about the workers.
Listen to this. This is
distribution of wealth.
Listen, stop. Listen to this. I got some information for you.
Okay.
This is from CBS News, September 30th, 2001. 24 members of Osama bin Laden's family were urgently evacuated from the United States in the first days following the terror attacks in New York and Washington. This according to the Saudi ambassador to Washington. One of bin Laden's brothers frantically called the Saudi Arabian embassy in Washington looking for protection. Prince Bandar bin Sultan told the New York Times. The brother was sent to a room in the Watergate Hotel, was told not to open the door. Most of bin Laden's relatives were attending high school and college. The young members of the bin Laden family were driven or flown under U.S. or FBI supervision to a secret place in Texas, according to the Times. Many were terrified, fearing they'd be lynched after hearing reports of violence against Muslims and anti-American, or Arab Americans, rather. They left the country on a private charter plane when airports reopened 3 days after the attack. Doesn't say anything.
The very next day, bin Laden's parents were flown out of the United States of America.
I just did a search for bin Laden parents evacuated after 9/11, and all of them mentioned it is extended family. Hang on a minute here. This is the New York Times. Let's see. First days after the terror attacks.
2001, I was on active duty.
Hang on.
I know for a fact bin Laden's parents, the first flight that left the ground after all planes were grounded. Inside information.
All right, I'm not going to ask you to go any further with that. All I can tell you, and I'm not going to dispute you. All I'm trying to tell you is that I looked really, really hard at that. Wasn't able to do anything. Wasn't able to find any information than what I just found from CBS and the New York Times.
Okie doke.
And all I can say is anyway. All that being said, that's kind of a canard. The real issue that we were discussing had to do with Well, listen to me, please.
Why is it that in the last few years,
Michael, I love you, man, and you're a veteran, and I care about you. Okay, but you got to have a conversation. You just can't keep interrupting me. I don't interrupt you. Don't interrupt me. Cool. Can you do that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. All right. So what we were discussing something that President Bush has been criticized for, which was spending $5 trillion in reorganizing the United States government. And I agree with you. It is not something that he had to do. I think all he really needed to do was give some of that money, and it wouldn't be anywhere close to $5 trillion, needed to expand the capabilities of the FBI.
Exactly.
The Department of Homeland Security. The Department of Homeland Security.
I'm gonna shut up because you're right on point. Now you know what you're talking about. Go ahead.
Well, you see, the thing about it is that the FBI should have gotten the lion's share of that money, and all of those organizations that were put into the Department of Homeland Security should have been given to the FBI.
Exactly.
And we would have spent maybe 20% of that money instead of all.
Maybe.
And then all we did with the Department of Homeland Security is give wayward bureaucrats a place to go.
Exactly. Always big government. That's the problem with big government. They waste money.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with the reality of the situation, and that's one of the reasons why so many people in America believe the economy is rigged.
Well, actually, it's not a false belief.
Oh no, I understand
what it is. The reason why the rich get richer and the middle class, which was the backbone of America after World War II, the backbone when we became the world power that we are today, with the massive Navy, the massive Army, is because the people who, it's the same thing that Teddy Roosevelt tried to put a stop to. It's the heavy corporate leverage over politicians who are willing to be bought.
Yeah, those words you just issued were never more true than when General Motors was referred to as being too big to fail.
Thing in the world, right? Here's the roughest thing in the world. It's going to be so entirely hard for Donald J. Trump to take the presidency from Hillary Clinton. She's so well connected, but his whole platform is exactly the way America should go. And I'm a diehard Democrat.
Listen, man, there are a lot of diehard Democrats that are going to find a perfectly fine reason to vote.
My vote.
Yeah, there's a perfectly fine reason to vote for Donald Trump. Donald Trump represents, and this is what I'm telling my conservative buddies. Every time my conservative buddies say, I'll never vote for Donald Trump ever in my life, I'm sitting there thinking of you. Michael from Dallas, who is a diehard Democrat.
What I'm thinking about Donald Trump. Theodore Roosevelt.
Yes, but what I think about
the truth out there.
What I'm thinking about is I'm thinking about you. And if there are more Democrats electing Donald Trump than conservative Republicans electing Donald Trump, who is Donald Trump going to listen to? It ain't going to be conservative Americans. It's going to be people like you, Michael. God bless you, and God bless your service to this fine nation, my friend. It's always great to talk to a patriot. You know, be in touch, okay? I'm gonna have Ms. Vicky talk to you for a couple of seconds. We want to hear more from you, so thanks very much for your time, and we'll look forward to more conversations like that one. 71% of Americans believe the economy is rigged. That is according to a poll by Marketplace and Edison Research. Michael says the reason they believe that is because it's true. Do you agree? Join us next. This is the Wells Report.
The Mark Davis Show. Mark Davis Show.
The summer is hot and so are the topics. I am blessed to have the very cool Tim O'Hare filling in for vacation week. So bring the day's news to him, and with his poise and political chops, he will handle it with skill. Happy birthday, America. See all of you Tuesday morning, July 5th. I expect we'll have some ground to cover. So happy summer and happy 4th from everybody at the Mark Davis Show.
The Mark Davis Show. Weekday mornings at 7, right before Mike Gallagher at 10 on 660 AM. The Answer.
You need a plan as you get closer to retirement. A plan that'll take you from where you are now is to the answer. You only get to retire once, so it's really important you do it right. And your host, Presidency Group, helps people retire successfully every day. So don't miss Wealth Smart every Sunday at 7 a.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer.
This is Hugh Hewitt for townhall.com. It would be very difficult to overstate the significance of the United Kingdom's vote last week to exit the European Union. The very fact that a nation of 65 million people with 40 years plus of membership in the EU has voted to sever ties is nothing short of remarkable. It was remarkable because, in part, no one saw it coming. The latest polls seem to give the edge to the Remain camp. Nigel Farage of the UKIP, the UK Independence Party, and one of the proponents of exit, even conceded early in the evening, only to declare later on that, quote, dawn is breaking on an independent United Kingdom. Both Farage and the other big winner of the pro-Brexit side, London's former mayor, Boris Johnson, have said that the date should be marked down as Independence Day. As we approach our own Independence Day, we have to celebrate a victory for our friends across the pond. For indeed, the Brexit vote is a victory for self-governance. It was a victory for freedom. So, to all the friends in our audience, and now to all of our friends across the Atlantic, happy Independence Day. I'm Hugh Hewitt.
Hi, folks. I'm Frank Manzeri, co-owner of Statewide Remodeling. It's getting to be summer, and the days are getting to be hotter, and your electric bill's getting higher. If you can stand in front of any window in your home with the sun shining through and feel any heat, you have a problem that's costing you money every day. We can fix that problem for you with new restoration windows from Statewide Remodeling. Have you ever noticed that most of the other window companies you hear on the radio are talking about everything but their warranty? They want to brag about how long they've been in business or how low their prices are. I have to tell you that none of that means anything without a strong written warranty to back up the product. We've been installing windows in Texas for over 20 years and the only company with a written workmanship warranty for as long as you own your home. We also offer a satisfaction guarantee or your money back. So if you're ready to get straight talk about replacement windows, give us a call. And if you call now for a free estimate, you'll get up to $2,000 off your whole project. The estimate and window evaluation is free. The number to call is 888-270-7095. That's 888-270-7095 or anytime online at statewideremodeling.com.
Acme Home Insurance.
Yes, I'd like to make a claim.
What are you wanting to claim, sir?
My air conditioner broke down.
Sorry, but your home insurance doesn't cover air conditioner breakdowns.
So what do you cover?
Home damage from things like earthquakes, volcanoes, a zombie apocalypse.
A zombie apocalypse? But that'll never happen.
But if it did, you'd be covered, sir.
But not my air conditioner?
I'm afraid not.
But his air conditioner could have been covered with a home warranty from American Home Shield, plus components of 20 other major home systems and appliances, like his electrical system, plumbing, refrigerator, and more. For valuable free information, call 1-800-700-1134. Home insurance can cover what might happen.
Zombies are coming!
But a home warranty helps cover what will happen.
Now the dryer won't work.
Life happens. Have a plan. Get a home warranty from American Home Shield. For valuable free information, call 1-800-700-1134. 700-1134. 1-800-700-1134.
In Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 2, God says, "Write in a book all the words I've spoken to you." Is there a story in you today? Have you ever felt urged by God to write those words in a book? Zulon Press is the largest, most experienced Christian self-publisher in the world, and they're offering a free publishing guide at christianpublishingguide.com. They've helped thousands of people just like you tell their stories and touch thousands of lives.
Share your story and find out more today at 660amtheanswer.com. Visit 660amtheanswer.com now.
Hey, it's Mark Davis with one of your prime summer needs, a good carpet cleaning. Summer is a busy time, so call Zero Res. Call them often. It's a $33 per room carpet cleaning special, 214-37-CLEAN. 214-37-CLEAN. They'll do the carpets. While they're there, let them do hardwood floors, granite countertops, drapes, upholstery. When they're done cleaning whatever you want, 2 free passes to any of the 5 DFW Hawaiian Falls water parks. It's Zero Res, the best carpet cleaning, and so much more. I use them. You should too. 214-37-CLEAN.
660 AM The Answer. 660amtheanswer.com. The Wells Report. A daily good old-fashioned North Texas barbecue of anybody trying to take advantage of us on 660 AM The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Reports. My name is John David Wells. This is 660 AM The Answer. So what we got going here is we're asking you about this idea that 71% think the United States economy is rigged in favor of certain groups. Do you agree? 866-660-5759. Most selected the rigged economy in this survey. It didn't matter whether the person, listen to this, did not matter whether the person was white, black, Hispanic, or any other ethnic group. It didn't matter whether they identified Republican, Democrat, or Independent. The majority feel the American dream comes with a huge asterisk that reads only for the favored few. A rigged economy? 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. Let me get to Robert in Fort Worth. Robert, thanks very much. Thanks very much for joining us.
Yep, I believe it's rigged, and I would just say the system is rigged, and at 71% don't trust the government.
Yeah.
Similarly, the 71% don't trust Hillary.
Well, I agree. I think it's even worse than that. I can't remember the exact statistic because I got about 1 billion of them running through my head right now. But the vast majority of Americans believe that the number one threat to American freedom and liberty is the government.
Right.
You know, it's just one of these things that you really have to look at very carefully. I mean, and this entire thing is just really good. This is a good piece. You can find it in money.cnn.com. I know I don't say good things about CNN very often, but they sure got this right. Americans have good reason to think this way. The typical middle-class family is earning about the same amount of money, just under $54,000 a year, as they did in 1996. That's 20 years. People aren't getting paid more. On top of that, the Great Recession knocked out many people's safety net savings. They lost jobs or homes or both. Even people who have jobs tell CNN Money that they feel one step away from financial ruin. They fear a life of dead-end crap jobs with crap wages. Inequality, however you measure it, has been on the rise. The middle class is shrinking, partly because the upper class is thriving. I don't know that that's the case. This week, actor Jesse Williams' speech at the BET Awards, highlighting this, went viral. It began a system built to divide, impoverish, and destroy us cannot stand if we do. I don't know what he was talking about there. That's not really English, but it's close. He called on his fellow black celebrities, many of whom are part of the favored few, to do their part to fix inequality too. Williams' words are notable since 83% of African Americans believe the economy is rigged. This according to the Marketplace poll. It's the highest group to think that, though the majority of Americans across all racial origins feel that way. Trump and Clinton are fighting to prove that they are the candidate with the best solutions to help. Clinton has accused Trump of being exactly the kind of person who's rigging the system for Wall Street. He's only in it to enrich himself, she argues. Trump fires back at Clinton. She's been in Washington for much of the past 20 years as the middle class has shrunk and has gotten such a raw deal. She's right in the middle of all of it. It's true. Clinton pushes more safety nets like raising the minimum wage to at least $12 and enacting paid family leave and universal daycare. Won't go. The economy can't afford it. We're $19 trillion in debt. More debt is not going to help. 866-660-5759. You think the economy's rigged? Yes or no, and why? Tell me. 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. You're listening to the Wells Report. Back with more in just a moment.
This is Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, and I'd like to invite you to join me for our talk show every Sunday morning. We're actually trying to convert the world to organics. We talk about the natural organic program for farming, ranching, gardening, and pest control. Also, a lot of talk about health issues for animals and people. Hope you can join us for all the fun.
Make sure to tune in to Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, every Sunday morning from 8 to 11 a.m. right here on 660 a.m. The Answer.
As a listener to this station, you've heard a variety of companies advertising their products and services, many of them for a number of years.
I'm Walt Parker with InvestingMakesMeSick.com. I've gotten absolutely great results. No matter who's advertising, it definitely pays off. Doesn't matter what business they're in. I think they'll find it's going to be very rewarding.
My name is John Duncan, and I'm the CEO and founder of Bioscan of Los Colinas. It's simply the most effective advertising that I can do. I've advertised for the last 14 years on television, radio, and newspaper, and advertising with 660 gets the best results.
Hi, I'm Marcia West, Senior Account Manager for 660 AM The Answer. For 20 years, I've worked with companies both big and small to create cost-effective radio campaigns that get results. Let me do the same for you. Contact me today at mwest@ksky.com. That's mwest@ksky.com. I want to help you grow your business.
Bill Bennett here to tell you about Augusta Precious Metals. What if you could store your IRA or 401k where you can see, touch, and hold it in person in the form of physical gold and silver coins? I know I would, and you can't do that with stocks. With the Augusta Gold and Silver IRA, you can transfer retirement savings into physical coins, store them where you can actually see them. Free shipping, zero management fees, and Augusta pays all upfront costs. Getting started is absolutely free. Rated A+ with the Better Business Bureau, enjoys a 98% 5-star customer satisfaction rating with TrustLink.org. Trust Augusta. Call toll-free 1-855-222-5882 now for your
testing 1 2 3 5 5 4 3 2 1 for those people that are watching on television. It's promo time. Now, you can't laugh at me when I make mistakes on these promos because I'm making them up as I go along because I like the spontaneity of that. So here we go. You know, some people just can't take the word no. The Obama administration let me try it again. You know, some people just can't take the word no. The Obama administration at the top of the list. Did you realize that the Department of Justice is now looking into the Supreme Court decision to overturn President Obama's executive amnesty? What are they going to do? They're going to what? Invalidate the Supreme Court? Just throw it out of business? We'll discuss it next time on the Wells Report. Why, thank you. Now I don't have to do anything else. That's all I have to do. I don't have to do something for Tim. How come I don't do anything for Tim? Okay, that's all I have. Just know that I love all of you on television, and I'll see you in just a moment.
435. Based on actual cases, results may vary, not a solicitation for legal services. Have you received a letter or personal visit from the IRS? Has the IRS garnished your paycheck or seized your bank account? If so, you need to take action now. You're a target of the most powerful collection agency in the world, and you need representation you can trust. Don't get scammed by imitators and telemarketers' high-pressure tactics. At Wall & Associates, they develop trust with their clients through a free face-to-face consultation. They've saved their clients over $129 million in the past 5 years. Call 1-800-983-5313 now for your free face-to-face consultation. Ignoring your tax problem will only make it worse. Call 1-800-983-5313 to get immediate help. With over 30 years of experience, Wall & Associates has helped thousands of taxpayers, and they can help you. Call now, 1-800-983-5313, 800-983-5313, wallandassociates.net.
Napa know-how.
Napa's celebrating the most important things we can think of: America, racing, and freedom, by giving you a free patriotic racing cap for spending $25 at Napa. And for every hat given away, we'll donate $1 to the Intrepid Fallen Heroes Fund. Help us celebrate America, racing, and freedom with a free Napa Patriotic Racing Cap. That's Napa Know-How. At participating Napa Auto Parts stores while supplies last. Offer expires 7/31/16.
660 AM. The Answer. Only for Texas. This is the Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759. 71% believe that the U.S. economic system is rigged in favor of certain groups. That's according to a new research poll by Marketplace and Edison Research. What do you think about that? 866-660-5759. Let me get to Lee in Sanger. Lee, thanks for joining us. Hi.
Yeah, David, I say, number one, that those people are wrong. I'm a 78-year-old Hispanic American, and I was brought up in a poor neighborhood. I've been very successful my entire life. I don't think my government discriminated against me with opportunities. And I got to mention something else really quick. Donald Trump said that exporting businesses causes the jobs. In 1994, I was asked to open a company in Mexico for a Phoenix company that was very successful. I opened up a powder coating line there. We made millions there and didn't pay any taxes. We paid our workers $3 a day, provided one meal a day, and a nurse on Friday and a doctor on Friday. And we didn't have to pay any taxes. We didn't move because we were struggling. They moved just out of pure greed. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Say it one more time. Say you what? About greed?
I opened up a factory in Mexico called a Maquiladora under a Mexican umbrella company, okay?
Right. I got that.
Just to make more money. It wasn't a question of moving a company from Phoenix, Arizona to Mexico because they were struggling. They did it out of pure greed.
Well, of course.
So Trump is absolutely right. There are many cases where we kill American businesses just to be greedy and make money overseas, okay?
No, I understand. You're exactly correct. And to a point, that's capitalism. That's free market, right up to the point where it starts to hurt the country.
I felt bad about it, by the way.
Well, Lee, I mean, look, there are certain things that are true about America, and it has to do with the corporate circumstance, okay? Corporations are creatures that are created in a legal test tube, if you want to say it that way. So they're entities of their own. That way, if anything stupid happens, it's the fault of the entity, not the people running it. It's a protection for them. So the thing about it is, what people don't realize is that those corporations are essentially sociopaths. If you could put a type of personality into a corporation, more often than not, they're sociopaths. Now this is just a fact of life. If you don't run it that way, then they'll find somebody who runs it that way.
Well, I'll tell you something. I worked undercover for 40 years overseas. I can't get into the details, but I will tell you that I saw this coming many, many years ago. I saw children being taught in the 90s and in the 80s and in the 70s to kill Americans and to kill Jews in their schools.
Yeah.
Now those children have grown up now.
Yep.
They're adults now.
Yep, and they're animals now. Exactly. They're savages now. They're gone. That's why if you're going to actually do anything, you're going to have to do what we did in Germany and Japan. You're going to have to go there. You're going to have to stay there. You're going to have to stay there for 2 generations. You're going to have to stay there for 2 generations, and you're going to have to prove to them that killing Jews is just plain wrong. Then the thing about it is nobody wants to do it. And what's going to end up happening is that sooner or later somebody's going to pick a fight with Israel, and Israel will obliterate that country. Just that will be that. I mean, if the 1973 war happens, say 2 years from now, that's exactly what's going to happen. Israel isn't going to put up with that. They're just not. Dave in Arlington, Texas, do you believe that the American economy is rigged in favor of certain groups? Yes or no, and why?
Oh, absolutely. There's no question about it, JD. For instance, Donald Trump, the libs are trying to make, or the system's trying to make Donald Trump a politician. That's not why he got all the votes. You know, he is a businessman. He's paid taxes. He's ran business for decades. But what gets me is Hillary Clinton, she makes about $350,000 a year being a, you know, whatever the hell she is. And she seems to live large on it. But she's got this Hillary library that's got $250 million in there. And I want to know, how much lip service does someone give to get that, and how many promises? You see how crooked the system is, how one-sided it is?
Well, I mean, crooked, one-sided, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, the people that are doing well with it are going to do as well with it as they can. It's just human nature. You know, what you have to do is you have to, from time to time, you have to change the ethos. Most of the time, right, Dave, you have to change the ethos through use of the bully pulpit.
Absolutely.
And since President Obama has no idea what he's talking about when he talks about the economy, he's not going to use the bully pulpit for anything. All right, man. Thanks. I appreciate it. Let me get to Mike in Homestead, Florida. Hey, Mike, on your Patriot mobile phone.
Yes, this is my Patriot mobile phone. Excellent phone, excellent service.
Outstanding. You just made the promo.
Thank you. The check is in the mail, right?
Yeah, the check's in the mail. That's funny. So what do you think? Do you think the economy is rigged for certain groups?
Yes, it is. I'll give you an example. My friend had last year a crop of lychees, a certain number of tons. He sold for $27,000. This year, he had a slightly larger crop, and he was only able to get $5,000. An 81.5% decline in the price. And they told him there's been a surge of imports instituted by the U.S. Department of Agriculture that put him in the low spot of the marketplace because it depressed the price.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, you don't want a government that's big enough to be able to rig the outcome.
Yeah,
that's something you just don't want to have. You want the economy. Look, Reagan showed us this with his laissez-faire economic philosophy. What you want to do, go ahead.
He is not the only business person who has suffered in this economy in the past few years. There's been a flood of imports that have depressed other crops, other economies.
Sure.
That's rigged. That's a rigging.
Yeah, I understand. Thanks very much. I appreciate it. 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. I don't know, I don't know how we get out of this except by virtue of the fact that you got to stop people like President Obama from letting the economy work itself out. My best example of how you get the United States economy to clean itself up, how you get away from that corporate ethos, is to let these big companies implode. You know, the act of floating the American economy after 2008 was a requirement. That was a case of brilliant banking by the Fed. They kept the entire world economy from crashing. Okay? If it wasn't for the Fed, the entire world would still be poking through the ruins of the world economy, trying to find dinner. But the thing about that is that again we're looking at an artificial manipulation that what we really need to do is we really need to stay away from. You see, and the perfect example of this is General Motors. I lived in Detroit in the late 70s and early 80s. Okay? And General Motors was in big trouble then. It's always been in big trouble. What needs to happen with General Motors is they need to split up General Motors. So instead of having one gigantic struggling company, you'd have Chevrolet trucks, you'd have GMC, you'd have Cadillac, you'd have Buick, and you'd probably still have Oldsmobile, and you'd probably still have Pontiac. You'd have all those companies, but they would be their own companies. They wouldn't be under General Motors. And what would happen is that these companies would start out small, but then they would grow based on their own wits and capability of making cars. The competition would be better. And therefore, American cars would be better. 866-660-5759. Let me get to Norma in Arlington, Texas. Norma, thanks for joining us. Hi.
Welcome. In the first place, if the economy weren't rigged, we wouldn't have congresspersons who have passed laws to allow themselves to profit off insider knowledge and make millions of dollars for it, and then Martha Stewart has to go to prison for it. Oh, and one other thing, right quick, the man who said that that Bin Laden's parents were on the first flight out. Bin Laden's father died in 1967. His mother and sister were killed in a plane crash in 2015. His father died in 1967, so chances are he wasn't on.
Yeah, I couldn't find anything to back that up. He was very sure of some inside information that he had based on his job title at the time. And all I can say is, okay, we deal with what we have. And thanks very much for the update. 866-660-5759, 866-660-5759. Do you believe that the American economy is rigged? I believe that the words too big to fail should never, ever be issued by anybody in government, because it's none of their business. It's none of government's business if there's an industry out there that's too big to fail. Because then what you end up with is you end up with other things that are too big to fail. Whoever happens to be a part of the inner circle of some political buddy-buddy system. Then when you have corporations that are too big to fail, you suddenly start having politicians that are too big to jail. Notably, Hillary Clinton. If Hillary Clinton had been, I don't know, let's say the political attaché for the Department of Defense, and she had done what she had done, she'd be in jail right now. But because she is so well politically connected, she's able to pretty much run roughshod over American law, which is ridiculous. Not just ridiculous, but antithetical to what America is. 866-660-5759, 866-660-5759. I'm surprised that so many people think the economy is rigged. It clearly should not be. It is far better to have 20 smaller car companies than 5 big ones. And one more thing about this corporate ethos. Another great example of doing it the other way is Ford Motor Company. You know, Lee's feeling bad about running this corporation from Mexico because he could get cheaper workers. He's worried about that. I understand that. But that's his job. The Ford Motor Company is run by the Ford family. They don't have to do anything with their company. I mean, they own the majority of stock. They will always own the majority of Ford stock. And they'll do anything with their company that they think they should, which is why people who work for Ford Motor Company never work for anybody else. Because what they want to do is they want to make sure that their people are happy and that they share in the wealth. Same thing with Southwest Airlines when Herb Kelleher was running it. As a matter of company policy, their executives made less than other executives in the same job titles in other airlines. It was a matter of company policy because they didn't want the workers having the attitude that their corporate executives were just sucking money out of the company every chance they could, which is what AMR was guilty of, which is why everybody at American Airlines hated AMR. See, we need leadership that is about people winning in big deals, not big people, big corporations doing whatever they want. I wonder if Trump can make that happen. This is the Wells Report.
Hey, it's Mark Davis from my friend Josh DeShong. The real estate world of Josh DeShong sells houses when others cannot. I am living proof. Lisa and I are so thrilled with Josh. He came in and sold our house with blinding speed. You want a promise. You want somebody who's going to sit down with you and say, I promise to sell your house. Most folks won't do this. Josh will. His website is getsold.net, and he is telling you your house will get sold. How does he do this? Well, you call him at the number I'm about to give you. He sits down with you and says, let's arrive at an agreed upon price and an agreed upon time frame. If that house of yours does not sell at that price in that time frame, he, Josh DeShong, simply buys your house. That's it. You're out. You're at closing. You move on. So call him and call him today. Don't waste a day. 972-325-6644. 972-325-6644. D Magazine Best Realtor 3 years in a row. I'll love him forever. Josh DeShong, getsold.net. 972-325-6644.
Be honest. Will owning a bigger TV help you get ahead in life? Will another pair of shoes make you a better person? Probably not. But what if you could speak another language? If acquiring a new language excites you more than acquiring more stuff, then wait until you hear this. As part of its biggest language learning event in history, Rosetta Stone is giving away demos of its powerful language learning software absolutely free. For your free demo, call 1-800-600-8119. And Rosetta Stone has made language learning more convenient than ever. Learn on your computer or iPad, then practice on the go with your smartphone or MP3 player without ever opening a book or memorizing boring vocabulary again. Do you want more stuff, or do you want a language that will last a lifetime? After all, it's all about priorities. To try a free demo of this powerful language learning software, call 1-800-600-8119. Again, get your free demo now. 1-800-600-8119. That's 1-800-600-8119.
If diets and diet products keep failing to flatten your belly, it may not be a diet product you need. You may need Somabiotics, the shockingly effective breakthrough that flattens bloated bellies fast by cleansing pounds of waste from your body. Right now, you can find out for free how much flatter Somabiotics will make your belly, because they're currently giving away free trials to the public. For yours, call 1-800-500-1179. Strict limit of 1 per household. Somabiotics is not a diet product. It's scientifically formulated with natural ingredients to cleanse your system, flatten bloated bellies, and combat periodic heartburn and acid reflux. If your belly flattening results are too dramatic, simply reduce use to every other day. If diets keep failing to flatten your belly, it may not be a diet you need. It may be Somabiotics. Call now for your free trial and see how much flatter it makes your belly. 1-800-500-1179. Hurry, call now for details while they're still giving trials away for free. 1-800-500-1179. That's 1-800-500-1179.
This is a life-changing message for anyone with sleep apnea who is on the go and tired of dragging around a big, bulky home CPAP device. MiniCPAP.com now offers a portable device that's as small as a soda can and weighs less than a pound. For even more freedom, you can add a battery that's as tiny as a deck of cards. It's called the Transcend Mini CPAP. And right now, you can try it risk-free for 10 days by calling 1-800-300-0338. Transcend is the world's first portable mini CPAP device. It gives you the freedom to sleep in total comfort anywhere you are. Our smallest and most advanced portable design ever, Transcend is so small and so light you can fit it in your briefcase or purse to use anywhere you go. It's FAA compliant too, so you can even sleep comfortably while flying. Enjoy the freedom to sleep comfortably anywhere. Call minicpap.com now for your 10-day at-home trial. 1-800-300-0338. That's 1-800-300-0338.
Did you know that a dirty CPAP system can make you sick? If you knew what could be growing in your mask and hose, you might not sleep so well. But now, SoClean.com has released the world's first and only automated CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. It kills 99.9% of all CPAP germs, and it's completely hands-free. For a limited time, you can try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. Just call 1-800-700-1331.
SoClean changed the CPAP experience for the better. My health has improved. It's simple to use, and I'm not worried about infections.
SoClean destroys CPAP bacteria, viruses, and germs, and it eliminates the daily hassle of washing your system by hand. There's no water, chemicals, or disassembly. Just pop in your mask, close the lid, and presto! Your CPAP system is clean and fresh in minutes. Call SoClean.com to try it risk-free at home for 30 days. It's a limited time offer.
660 Answer. TheAnswer.com. You're hearing tomorrow's front page on the Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. You'll never find another love like mine. Never will. And you never should. I want to thank you very much for taking part in this broadcast tonight. This was a big one. We had a big day today. God bless the people who lost their lives and their families in Turkey tonight. We have to stop these savages. We have to stop them. We are not doing what we need to do to stop them, which is why they are not stopped. We saw the Republican Party put out the Benghazi report. The protection systems surrounding Hillary Clinton went into full operation today. And one thing is for certain, regardless of how effective those defense systems are, any success that they have in protecting Hillary from the accountability she so richly deserves and needs, in fact, is too much protection. Making mistakes is a learning environment that Hillary Clinton has very little experience with, not because she doesn't make mistakes, but because no one ever holds her accountable for it. That's why her attitude is so bad. The executive producer of the Wells Report is Vicki Steifer. Technical director, conductor of the Wells Report Orchestra is Magic Matt Swinney. My name is John David Wells. God bless you and yours. We'll see you again tomorrow for another edition of the Wells Report.
Dennis Prager believes the GOP is missing a huge opportunity.
That has been the great failure of the Republican Party, not to talk about the damage the left does. They talk about individuals, Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, doesn't mean a thing. If you support the left, you are supporting the damaging, perhaps irreparably, of the society. I know you mean well, and it doesn't matter.
The Dennis Prager Show, weekdays at noon, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on 660 AM. The Answer.
If you or someone you love is suffering from hearing loss, please stay tuned for a special free offer from the makers of a revolutionary hearing breakthrough called Listen Clear. Listen Clear is precisely designed by top audio engineers to fit the ear almost invisibly, and it can be adjusted to find the perfect way to hear everything in every listening environment. Right now, we're offering absolutely free in-home trials to everyone who calls now. 1-800-600-0738. Call in the next 10 minutes and you'll also receive free shipping and free batteries for life. Listen Clear is lightweight and practically invisible, so people won't notice when you're wearing it. So again, if you or someone you love is suffering from hearing loss, please give them or yourself this life-changing 100% free in-home trial with free shipping and free batteries for life. For free information, call now. 1-800-600-0738. That's 1-800-600-0738. 1-800-600-0738.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
It takes a lot of courage to face your own death, but I'm glad I finally did. See, I was putting off getting life insurance to protect my family, even though I knew it was important. Then my neighbor's husband died. I watched her struggle emotionally and financially. It really made me face reality. If my husband died, how would I pay the mortgage, the car payments, or keep up the life the kids and I had? I realized I needed to get us life insurance right away. So I called AIG Direct. In less than 5 minutes, I had a quote. I was shocked at how affordable it is. Just $14 a month for $250,000 of term life coverage. I feel so much better knowing my family has protection.
Call AIG Direct right now for a free no-obligation quote. The call takes less than 5 minutes, and you can save up to 70%. Call now, 1-800-900-1904. That's 1-800-900-1904. 1-800-900-1904.
660 AM The Answer. KSKY Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. The official radio station of Decision 2016. The most important election of our lifetime.
Fox News Radio, I'm Rich Dennison. Officials in Turkey say 3 suicide bombers are responsible for the attack at Istanbul's Ataturk airport that's left at least 36 dead and dozens injured.
Turkey's prime minister and president have convened emergency security meetings with defense officials and their cabinets as to be expected. Just yesterday, the State Department issued a travel warning to U.S. citizens, warning about, quote, increased threats from terrorist groups throughout Turkey.
Fox's John Huddy. A move to legalize recreational marijuana in California has gained enough support to place the issue before voters in November. Voluntary evacuations for residents near the Black Hills National Forest in South Dakota because of a large wildfire.
It's backing down the hill, and that's really what we would like it to do, is to back down the hill to where the firefighters have a better chance at stopping it.
Incident Commander Shane Greer says more than 400 firefighters are on scene. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Stimulating talk, 660 AM, The Answer. Sean Hannity can't believe the president is still bringing in Syrian refugees.
I said that if one person dies as a result of Hillary and Obama's policy, they'd have blood on their hands. I hold them responsible because they're not listening to James Clapper, James Comey, Michael Steinbeck, the House Homeland Security Chairman, and all these other people. They refuse to listen to them.
The Sean Hannity Show, afternoons at 2, right before Michael Medved at 5 on 660 AM, The Answer.
Hi, this is Debbie Georgatis. I hope you'll tune into my radio show, America Can We Talk, this Sunday, July 3rd. We have a very special show lined up. Lieutenant Colonel Alan West will join us, along with Star Parker, the founder of CURE. We'll talk about what did liberty mean on July 4th in 1776, and what do we do today to protect liberty in America. This is Debbie Georgatis, and America Can We Talk, this Sunday from 6 to 8 p.m. We talk truth about America.
Welcome back, Summer. It's a hot one.